shut the door.
Why? Come in and watch.
Maybe you found someone you like better.
I don't believe... Do you know what's wrong with you?
No, what?
Nothing.
Hey, welcome to the live stream. Just doing another midweek live stream, just talking about some of the things that, I love to do. I love to collect. I'm a big collector of things, and physical media. Physical media is very important to me. I've enjoyed it for a long time. I've had it around my whole life, and it's not that I'm just old and I'm stuck in my ways. Like I don't like digital downloads. I haven't liked it. I haven't liked streaming. You spend all this money on a really expensive 4K television and surround sound, and you get all the bells and whistles, and then you're streaming, and then you got the buffering, and we have really high speed internet, and even just streaming these live streams, like when we watch them back sometimes just to see if we need to edit it, like there'll be some roboting and jittering, and I have it plugged into the router directly. So so that's just for me. Watching anytime we did stream back in the day, Netflix, or even some of the free stuff like Tubi or Crackle or one of those free ones, you're watching it and then it kind of buffers and it's not as good. So you spend all this money on this crazy expensive television. You spend all this money on this crazy expensive stereo system or surround sound, and it's just not there. So for me, it's physical media. I absolutely love it. I'm a huge collector. The biggest part of my nerd collection is going to be movies. I've got, that's the most amount of things I have in my collection. But with that, I get into other things too, whether it's comic books or toys or anything else, but having physical media and having quality physical media, because there's a difference between just collecting it to have it and just having whatever you can get, and spending a little bit extra and getting a quality product. Let's see, we have somebody in the chat here. Oh, General Piggy. Oh, hail friend. Oh yeah, thanks for coming in, man. I always love seeing you on the stream. Yeah, so for me, physical media, whatever it is, whether it's a book or a movie or some of the packaging that it comes in, it's very important to me because I love to collect this stuff, but the whole point of me spending the extra money to physically own it and not just stream it digitally is I want the whole experience. So part of that experience can get ruined if you are just getting a crappy product. So some of the Comicsgate stuff I've gotten, I've absolutely loved. They've gone above and beyond what you can get on normal stuff. So like I know Billy Tucci's She Omnibus, that edition, it had a slip cover, and it was just everything about it is just above and beyond. So I absolutely love these just collecting physical media. So then when you look into the DVDs and the movies, it can get kind of expensive when you're boutique Blu-rays and DVDs, when they're like $25, $30, sometimes even more. So most people are familiar with like Criterion, Arrow Video, some of those other ones, but there's a company that I love to shop at, and it's Kino Lorber. Now, Kino Lorber, they have all kinds of movies. I found that they have movies that are way before my time, and then they have some modern films, and they have everything in between, and I've just really appreciated them. Their packaging, it's really, really simple, but it's just quality cases. Like the cases aren't flimsy, they're not cheap, and they keep everything kind of uniform. So putting them on the shelf, they look the same. And the one thing I really, really love about them is the fact that any of these discs. And so I just got a new haul. I got a new set of movies this week, and because I was doing my 80s movie review, and somebody said I had to watch Rawhead Rex. So I said, all right, the only rule is I gotta have it. I gotta physically have it. So I tracked it down, and I found it was on sale. And when Kino Lorber has the movies on sale, I gotta snatch up as many as I can get, because they do sales. Like right now, there's a sale going on, but it's not as good as the one a couple weeks ago where I got most of these discs for like $7. let's see, we got somebody else in the chat. General Piggy. I've been collecting a lot of physical media lately. Got a set of Hammer horror films on the, oh, a little jealous of that one. So I don't have any, like, I don't have the whole shebang of the Hammer horrors, but I did pick up a lot of the Dracula. So I'm really excited about that. But I haven't gotten any of the Frankenstein or any of the other stuff that they've done yet. But no, Hammer is where it's at. But yeah, I've got a couple. I think I got a couple in here. I got some Vincent Price. A lot of them I knew about, but there's some blind buys I got in this box. So we're going to dive into it. But the one thing, if you don't know about Kino Lorber, I'm going to pull up their website when I'm done too. But like, they're a great place to shop for movies, and especially if you can hit that sale. But the one thing I love about them is on the back here, every single one of them, it'll say the runtime, the year it was made, whether it's in black and white or it's in color. So it's got this one was done in 1964. It's in color. It's 89 minutes. It's an aspect ratio of 1.85, which most people don't care about. And then this was in a mastered in 1020 by 1080p. So it'll look great on high def television. So, but this is the first one I just pulled out, and this was a blind buy because it had Barbara Eden in it. And, you know, I'm a fan of the old reruns of, I Dream of Jeannie. So Barbara Eden, and this is it's a Barbara Eden movie with a genie. So I don't know what this is about, but you know, it just, that's why I bought this one. So this was a blind buy. I was really excited about that. And just to pick these up for like $5, $6, $7 and get a lot of great movies, it's just a great thing to do. Because I know some of the bigger ones like Criterion or Arrow Video, those movies are like $30, $35 and sometimes $40. So you got to wait for the once a year half price sale, and you're still spending $20, $22 on these things. So Kino Lorber, it's a great company. Now, Miracle Beach, I've seen this one for years. Never seen it. I don't know what it's about. Obviously, it's a comedy, but I've seen this cover for years, and for $6, I couldn't go wrong. Now, this one, it came out in 1992. It's 88 minutes. It's color, and as far as I know, it's a comedy. Romantic comedy fantasy set in Southern California beach scene, and it stars Dean Cameron, who was in summer school, and that's a good movie too. So this one was a blind buy. Now this one I've had on my radar for a long time, and it's James Cagney, Shirley Jones. I'm a big James Cagney fan. I don't know if you caught the beginning of my my stream when Public Enemy. I clipped out that part of Public Enemy where James Cagney smashes the grapefruit in the girl's face, and I die laughing every time. My 5-year-old daughter thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. So big James Cagney fan. So this has been on my radar for a long time. So I finally got it because it was $7, and it's called Never Steal Anything, and it's another comedy. It came out in 1959. It's in color, and it's 94 minutes. Now, some of these older movies, they have colorized. So I don't know if this one was black and white and then they colorized it. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes they don't. But this one is in color now, if it wasn't before. Then I picked up Black Marble. The last year when they did their big sale, I almost picked it up then, but then I was like, I had too much stuff in my cart and I had to weed some things out. And this is the one that got weeded out. So I picked it up this time. It looked kind of funny. It's called The Black Marble. It stars Robert Foxworth, Paula Presence, and Harry Dean Stanton, and directed by Harold Becker. It came out in 1980. It's an hour and 13 minutes, or 113 minutes. It's in color. It's a 1080p and a 2.35 aspect ratio. So this one, it looked pretty funny, and then the cover just looks great. So I was going to try this one out, but I think it's one of those like late 70s, early 80s comedies where it's not like riotous, laugh out loud. It's just kind of more situational comedy. Because I've had a couple of those older ones that say they're comedy, and I'm watching it. I'm like, one, it's a little boring. Two, it's more drama than comedy. Let's see. We got J. Bob Barton here. Hey, man. Hey, let's see. L80s MC just popping in to say hello. Smash that like button. Oh, thanks, brother. Yeah. If you guys, if nobody's subscribed or you're not hitting that like button, go ahead. Do that for me, please. Awesome. And this one, I've had it on my radar forever, and I've never seen it in its entirety from beginning to end. I've seen bits and pieces. I've watched lots of documentaries where this movie comes up all the time. And so I've seen bits and pieces of it, but never the entirety. And it's something I've always wanted to get. And because I'm just like the way I am about physical media, and I just want to go in the store and grab it off the shelf, and I've never had that opportunity. because I decided to buy these on the internet, and I just did that, this is one that I had to get in my collection. But Nosferatu, I absolutely have been dying to actually sit down and really enjoy this film. Now, this one is one of the few, because it's like a 2-disc deluxe remastered edition, and it's part of their Kino Classics line. So it doesn't match so all the rest of these here. When you line them up on your shelf, they're all uniform. So they all look the same, and then the backs are all the same, format. So this part of their Kino Classics, it's different. So then the spine is different. It's a little bit more, special edition, more boutique. And again, for $7, I couldn't go wrong. And it's something I've wanted for a very long time. So I'm glad I got it. So this one here, right off the bat, it's not set up like this one where it tells you like the ins and outs real quick. But this one I do know is one of the ones that came out of Weimar, Germany. And it was done in 1922. So that is something there. And it's 95 minutes, and they tinted it for color. So it's kind of color, but it's not really. They did some kind of tinting to make it give you the illusion of color. Now this one, never seen it. I've heard about it my whole life, and I've seen this movie poster forever. Absolutely love this movie poster, and it's one of my next movie posters I'd probably get, but I've never seen this movie, and this is why I bought it, because I love the movie poster. So it's 1 million years BC, Raquel Welch. That's just great. I'm not really a big dinosaur guy, but that's a cool movie poster. And, Raquel Welch, she's, the sex symbol from the 60s. Like, you can't go wrong there. So this one I'm excited for. This one came out in 1966. It's in color, 100 minutes. A 1.85 aspect ratio, and it's mastered in 1080p. So it's a high def. So this one's real cool. I'm glad to have this one. Looking forward to it. Now this one, The Wanderers. This is not a blind buy. I knew exactly what I was getting into. I love this movie. This was great. So if you haven't seen it, The Wanderers, it's fun. It's I guess kind of like West Side Story, but not. It's definitely more funny than that. It's not a musical. Then did a 2K restoration on it. So this one is going to look really good on high definition televisions. Came out in 1979, 117 minutes. And just the basic premise here. It says the coolest guys in town, Tully High School seniors Richie, Joey, and Perry run a gang called the Wanderers in the Bronx in 1963. But their experiences are universal: falling in love, surviving high school, defending their turf against rival gangs, formidable baddies, the Dell Bombers, and the Ducky Boys, from acclaimed first novel by Richard Price. So it's based on the Richard Price, who did Clockers. So I think this is based on Clockers. So, but I actually love this movie. It's a fun watch. So this one, 1979. And again, the cover is just great on that. Some of these older movies had way better covers. Like, now the modern movie covers, they're boring, they're bland, they're all the same. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. So a movie that has a cool cover like that, I'll give it a chance. And even if the movie's not that great, for me, it was worth the watch because the cover was cool. And then if it's not that great, I won't buy it. But that was definitely one I liked. And this one, Conga. This one came out in 1961, 90 minutes. It's in color. For some reason, I don't think it was in color originally, but it might have been. And so this one's a fun one. I never saw it, but I do remember people talking about it growing up, and I just thought how cool it was. And I've never seen it till now. So for $7, I couldn't go wrong. And this is one, again, I absolutely love that cover. Let's see. And then, let's see. Oh, I missed a chat. Sorry, let me get back to these chats. Let's see. General Piggy says, love Vincent Price. Oh, big Vincent Price fan. Have you seen the Comedy of Terrors? It's one of my most favorite Vincent Price films, and it's funny. Peter Lorre's in it, and Boris Karloff is is also in it, and it is one of the funniest movies from that time that I've seen with those guys in it. To me, I was just dying laughing through the whole movie. The only gripe I had is this woman. She sings, and it's played for laughs, so she sings like crazy loud, and she breaks things sometimes when she sings. So it's definitely played for laughs, but through the surround sound and like the better stuff that we have now, it ended up being a little annoying. But other than that, hands down, I think it's one of the funniest movies, and it's definitely one of my favorites. Let's see. General Piggy, interesting. I've never heard of the Brass Bottle. Yeah, no, I didn't either. But for me, Barbara Eden, Genie stuff, I'm in. Let's see. And then we had Harold Printer's Homecoming. Again, this is something, it was on their Kino Classics line. I knew nothing about it, but the movie cover. I bought it. It was a blind buy. It was interesting. It wasn't a boring movie cover, so I figured I'd give it a chance. And for, again, being really cheap, worst case scenario, I can put it back on eBay and I can get my money's worth out of it. But this has a US and UK release. So sometimes when they do the US/UK release, a lot of times the film might have been a UK film originally. But this came out in 1973, an hour and 14 minutes. It's mastered in high definition, a 1.85 aspect ratio. And yep, it does. The whole thing takes place in England. In North London, an all-male beehive of inactivity is ruled by a foul-mouthed and iron-fist and abusive Max, Paul Rogers, and his brothers, the priggish palace eunuch Sam. Rounding out the homecoming situation tragedy are the sons, punch-drunk demolition man Joey Terrence Rigby, and the pimp-smart Lenny, played by magnificent Ian Holm. When the prodigal son, Teddy, brings his wife, Ruth, home to meet the family, it unleashes a tangled web of feud and dread, venal family values, and naked neediness. All right, I'm in. Let's see. Oh, Tarix9. Hey, Hale, welcome into the chat, man. I'm just going over some of the new pickups I got from Kino Lorber. And if you don't know about them, check out their website. They have great films, and you can, if you can catch their sale, you can get really good prices. Oh, we're just saying hello. Yeah, no, definitely. Welcome. Tarix9 Hale. Yep. I think J-Bot bounced though, but no, man. No, thanks for stopping in. Now, this is one that it's been on my radar for a long time. I've wanted it. Huge fan of these guys. I was just talking about Comedy of Terrors, but Peter Lorre, Vincent Price, and Basil Rathbone. So that's the only one I wasn't super familiar with, but the name sounds familiar. So it's another horror comedy starring those guys. And just watching it, it looked funny as hell. Like, it seems like Vincent Price is having an affair with Peter Lorre's wife, and he finds out. So then he's going to kill him. And you know, and as in the watching the preview and watching them do that, it made me laugh. So I bought it. So this one, it's been on my radar for a little while. Now, this one is a movie. I normally don't like movies like this, but something about it, and I think it has to do with the movie cover. So this movie cover, this one got me, and I couldn't pass it up. So, and I watched it before, and I liked it, you know, and the movie definitely grew on me as I was watching it more and more, but it's definitely a little silly, like a little over the top silly. And maybe if I watched it when I was younger, I might've been really, really into it, but it was DC Cab. So I enjoyed this film. One, I love the cover. Like there's something so cool about that cover. And so for me, I love this. This one came out in 1983. It's a color, 100 minutes, aspect ratio of 1.85, and mastered in high definition. Now, this one, you know, it's like the worst cab company in the city, and they're always screwing around and doing the wrong thing, and they're robbing people, and they're just stealing their money, and they're doing everything, but then they're going to get shut down or something, and then they got to like turn it around. And to me, this was just a great film. It is dumb, like the opening scene. If you watch the opening scene and you get past that, you know, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's more in the vein, like not exactly, but more in the vein of what I've seen from Airplane. So it's kind of like that, you know, stupid humor, but then they're doing stupid things. So really enjoyed it. Mr. T is in it. Let's see who else might be in this. Let's see, Adam Baldwin, Charlie Barnett, Irene Cara, Paul Rodriguez, Gary Busey's in this, Joel Sanchez, Mr. T, Josie Perez. Yeah, so this one's a fun one. So I picked this one up. I've seen it before and I really enjoyed it. The Wildlife. Now this is another one. Let's see. We got more people in the chat. Let's see. Tarx9 says busy, but I'll be listening. Oh no, thanks, man. No, I appreciate you stopping by. And you're always in the chat. Good guy, man. I appreciate having you on. And yeah, so Wildlife. So this is another one. I missed it. I didn't know anything about it. It came out in 1984. I was 2 years old when it came out, so that's probably why I missed it. But the cover, I really liked the cover. It wasn't boring. It was something. And this isn't the first time I've seen this cover. I don't know if this was the original movie poster or if this was the original cover, because a lot of the boutique movie labels, they will do a repainted cover, like a modern cover, and then they'll put the original movie poster on the inside and you could just flip out the paper. And Kino Lorber, they don't do that as far as I know. All the ones I've seen, they don't do that. So this might be the original movie cover. And that's cool because like those older ones, I just think they were more fun, more interesting. It's painted. So this was an artist idea of what his idea from the movie should be. So for me, I've always liked that. And just like DC Cap, like somebody painted that. So those were always cool for me. Let's see. Now this one, I'm a big fan of old movies. And so this one stars James Stewart, Julia Adams, Arthur Kennedy, and Rock Hudson. It's called Bend of the River, and it looks like an old Western. So again, I like the guys in it, and the cover got me. So this looks like an old Western, and it just looks fun. Maybe pilgrims trying to set, or settlers trying to get where they're going. Reformed outlaw Glenn McClintock, James Stewart, Broken Arrow guides a band of prisoners from Missouri to Oregon Trail in a new life in the Columbian River Basin. In the Western adventure directed by the great Anthony Mann, and when the settlers are cheated from their supplies and cattle, Stewart crosses rivers, climbs mountains, and outguns greedy hijackers to ensure the survival through the first winter. So yeah, it's a settler story. It's kind of a Western. It's pretty good old actors. Something I'm going to enjoy. Probably one I won't watch all the time, but I'll probably, if I liked it, I'll probably give it a yearly watch. See, in this one, I never picked it up. I remember seeing this at the video stores. I remember seeing the cover. So this one came out in 91, and it's rated R. It's an hour and 20 minutes. 120 minutes. It's in color, and it's called Rush. So Jennifer Jason Leigh, and then Jason Patrick, but then also, I don't know why he's not on there. Let's see. Who are all these people? Yeah. So Jason Patrick, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Max Perch, Greg Allman, but the one person that should be on here is Sam Elliott. So Sam Elliott's in the movie, but he's not a headliner, but he's on the back cover. So he's another great actor. I love Sam Elliott. So this one, it looks really cool. And before I bought it, I watched the trailer, and to me, it was just great. And it looked really cool, so I picked it up. So this one says, what happens when two cops loving their jobs start living it? In an emotionally riveting, powerful, and unsparring film exposes the plight of two narcotics officers who cross the line and become enmeshed in dangerous and intoxicating underbelly of the drug world. So it's like the cops somehow were undercover or something, and they get involved in the drug world, and then they kind of can't get out. That's what it seemed like to me. So this one looked really fun, and I picked it up. Now this one is one of my favorites. That the trailer is awesome. The movie is awesome. It's just one of them dumb, fun, wacky movies. So this one, it comes on the Kino Classics. Or no, I'm sorry. It's an Kino put it out, but it's an MGM film. So somehow it didn't get the Kino treatment, and it's got the MGM stuff. So it's the original thing because it's called Chomps. So the dog's the robot. So yeah, this was a Hanna-Barbera / American International production. So Hanna-Barbera foot the bill for this one. And it's rated PG. And it says the crime rate is going through the roof, and Norton Security's business is going to the dogs. Desperate to save the father's company, Casey Norton, and her fiance, electronics genius Brian Foster, are about to unveil a secret weapon. They have burglars begging for mercy. Chomps, canine home protection system. So it's just fun. And I love the cover. It's a painted movie poster. So for me, that's fun. And just watch the trailer if you're interested. But for $7, I couldn't go wrong with that one. Let's see. And then this one here. This is one of my favorites. So this is you got Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas, and this one came out in 1986, and it's Tough Guys. So they're old mob guys. I think they're mob guys. I haven't seen this since I was a kid. So it's a comedy. Let's see, Hollywood legends Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas star in this upbeat, action-packed comedy adventure sets free 30 years in prison, train robber. Okay, so they weren't mob guys; they were train robbers, and they get out of prison and they're old, so they're dressing like that. But then it's in the 80s, so then everyone's like dressing like they did in the 80s, like stupid T-shirts and the punk kids and the tough guys on the street with the typical 80s style where they had like chains and like they looked stupid, and they're dressed in suits, and then they fight. I remember there's a scene where they try to rob them, and these guys beat up the young kids, and I just remember it being really funny. But yeah, no, this was a good one. Haven't seen it in a very long time, so this was a great pick. So that was my pickup, and that was Kino Lorber. So if you're not familiar with Kino Lorber, is an actual boutique Blu-ray label. Check them out. They always have great things, and you can search it out. And if you like a specific actor, you can type in that, and it'll pull up all the movies. So I'm gonna pull this up real quick because I had it set up. Let's see, actually, I think I made it go away. Pull it up real quick. See, Kino Lorber. So yeah, you can search by title of the movie or actor or genre. And then I always just go right to the sale section. And they are having a sale right now, but it is not as good as the sale they had last week. Let's see. So window. Okay, so simple website, kinolorber.com, and then you have different options. They have stuff that they have movies that are in theaters, and then you just go over to the shop, and you have new releases, world cinema, documentary, studio classics, Carlton horror, silent, staff picks, and then what's on sale. I always go to the what's on sale section because let's just go to a new release and see what the price is. Well, they are doing a little sale right now, but this movie here that just came out, Grand Slam, Blu-ray is normally $29.96. So it's on sale right now. You can pick it up for $17.97. But I usually wait till the once a year sales where these movies are like $6-7. And then, but they have all kinds of cool stuff like this one here, and you click on it. This one here came out in 1934, W.C. Fields, and it's in black and white. So it gives you a little rough idea of what you're getting into before you actually buy it. And they have pretty much anything you can think of. They got movies from the early 1900s to movies that just came out in the early 2000s. And they have some odd ones. They have international flicks. I've gotten some foreign films with subtitles from them. So definitely a cool place to go. But then if you go here on their sale, just to see what they're having on sale right now, they do have, let's see. So Metropolis, that's one that a lot of big movie collectors like to get. I've seen it. It's all right. I don't need it in my collection, but it's one of those. And it's on sale for $17 for the Blu-ray, but $20 for the DVD. I don't understand how that works. That it being normally it's a $40 Blu-ray and it's a $30 DVD, but the sale is better to get the Blu-ray right now if it's something you're into. So they got stuff like that. And that Metropolis is old. It came out in Germany in 1927. So it's a really old movie. But then they have some like this great movie, and can't tell you the last time I've seen this on physical media in any form, but Clint Eastwood, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. The movie came out in 1974, and you can pick it up right now for $17. And then the DVD version is only $9.98. So, and then a lot of times they'll do both versions, DVD or Blu-ray, and then you can make your pick. You can decide whether, if you want that. But then sometimes, like the one I got, I did pick up a DVD today, and that was just because it was the only way I could get the movie. And it was the one with Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, and Basil Rathbone. So it was the only one, because I would have picked it up on Blu-ray, but I don't mind owning the DVD. And so, they have all these movies. This is another one that would be on my, that's not it. I'm sorry. Let's see. This is interesting. It's the one I thought, it's not what I thought it was. The one I thought it was a Sherlock Holmes one with Gene Wilder, similar color cover. But this one here is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea from 1916. I didn't even know this movie existed. So that's another cool thing, is they do go into back catalogs, and they just put out some stuff that the movie studios aren't putting out anymore. Apparently this was a Universal film, so I didn't even know it existed. And that's just a nice thing that they do. Really enjoyable. But this is the one I thought. So this one's on my radar, but I'd wait till it was like $5 or $6. So it's The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, Smarter Brother, stars Gene Wilder, and Madeline Kahn and Maddie Feldman. So that's it. It's just a really simple website. I really enjoy it. And I'm just a big, huge physical media collector. I love physical media. And so when separate from movies, when I'm collecting the physical media, I really appreciate, not just the actual product, but the packaging as well. So like when you go above and beyond and you package a product, and it's just, the packaging itself is there's quality in it, and then there's quality in the product. Yeah, there's extra money going into your packaging, but it just feels better. Everything about the experience just feels better. So again, when I get into some of like the comic books and the independent guys, when they go above and beyond, it's really noted, and I'm like 100% going to get their second edition and their third edition and just be a customer for life. Big fan. And I picked up, picked up this not too long ago. I was in Target with my kid, and we were looking for He-Man toys, and they didn't have any. But they did have this. And I saw Sean Jetty open it up on his live stream, and I just saw it on the shelf. It happened to be there. They had Wolfman. So I picked this up, and it's a NECA product, and NECA products always have the coolest packaging. Yeah, it's quality. If I don't want to open this up and I want to keep this in the box because I'm a collector, you got the Velcro, you got this, you got the window, you can see everything there. To me, that's really awesome. And they had two of these left on the shelf. The only reason I got it, I probably wouldn't have picked it up right away, because it's not something I was really looking for. I do like the Wolfman. It's fine. And I'm a big fan of Universal Monsters anyway. But I would have definitely gone after like the creature, Gilman. He's my absolute favorite character. So that one I would have bought, like no questions asked. But this one, it's a fine purchase. I'm glad I have it. I'm really, really cool. But they had, they released black and white version and then a color version. So they had two of these left. So I picked up the ones that was one left on the shelf, but then the color version, they had like 6 or 7 boxes of that. Like nobody wants that version. And then they had the Frankenstein. They didn't have any black and white Frankensteins left, and they just had just the color versions, because I would have definitely picked up the black and white Frankenstein as well. So this right here is why I love physical media. I love having things in my hand, whether it's toys or movies or whatever it is. And just to go in above and beyond on the packaging, and then above and beyond on the product, it just makes me, I don't know, it's something about it just makes me feel good. And I enjoy having, I enjoy it. I don't know how to really explain it unless you're a physical media collector, but there's just something about it that just makes it feel good. And then when you get those DVDs, that they're flimsy, and then they have like the cutout for that recycle symbol that they have, and then it's cut out because it's cheaper. And then, if you order it online, it comes broken. You're just disappointed. It's just garbage. And it's the same thing. And you're paying sometimes almost as much as some of the boutique labels, and you're getting a crappy product. So big fan of the better stuff. Let's see. What do we got in the chat now? Oh, speak of the devil. I was just talking about you. You just popped in. Did you see I had this? So Shanton Jetty says, hail all. Yeah, welcome. Let's see. Jeremy Burtz, hail Shant. Yeah. Welcome, Jeremy. I didn't see you in the chat. Thanks for stopping in. Let's see. Shanton Jetty, hail. Yep, just saying hi. Yeah, so no, I was just talking about how I went to Target and just loving physical media and the packaging and everything being better. And one of the things I've just really appreciated, and I notice it all the time when I'm getting independent comic books, like the people that actually care, they make a better product. And so, it doesn't matter what the better product is, whether it is movies or the toys or comic books, like just to physically have it and having the everything about it just being better is just, for me, is great. Whether it's the paper quality or the presentation, like the whole thing is just wonderful presentation, from opening up the box to getting the product and then having it and then putting it on my shelf. Now, if I have the dilemma of, do I throw this box in the garbage or do I keep this box because it's so cool looking, it's got great art, all that type of stuff, that's what makes me a customer for life. Really does. Let's see. Shantan Jetty art. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Yes. Yeah. So, So for this was just a great thing. I don't know if I'm going to open mine up yet. Cause I have this whole thing planned of doing, Universal Monsters, video. And, I've got all my Blu-ray discs that, the Alex Ross ones, and I've got that, and I've got the big giant, paintings that I have out in the hallway. I was actually going to bring them in here, but then I was just thinking, like, they're so big, I don't know if I'll be able to put them up back there and be able to, like, without damaging anything. So I got to figure that out yet. And that's when I think I was going to do this. So big Universal Monster fan. And I was definitely loving this. So this was cool. This was a nice Target find, but, yeah. And so with all of it, all the physical media that I've collected over the years, I have, been disappointed mostly from my movies and my DVDs and just opening them up, and then the cheaper plastic and the quality isn't there. So then just the excitement of, getting the stuff from Comicsgate has been really, really, above par. Ethan is always killing it. Anything coming out of All Caps Comics is amazing. And, the box art, he ships the stuff. The box art is great. His little packages for clothing that, just have his logo and all that stuff. It's not a simple plain package. And yes, extra money goes into that, but it's those little touches that make me want to buy more. It literally makes me a customer for life. And that's where I'm at with that. And so, like, what did I get? The Chris Fisk, he put out that Infinity Tale book. I love the book, absolutely love the book, but it came in a box. It came in a bigger box, and then just the presentation of all of it. And then he went above and beyond, and he put like a little note that he had in there, and then he wrote, he signed it, he hand signed it, and then he wrote to, and then put my name on there. So, and he didn't have to do that. Like a simple thank you would have been cool for me. And I go back to for years, I used to flip things on eBay. I used to go to the thrift stores all the time, and I used to buy, the stuff, my collection, all the stuff that I love to have. I used to find it, most of it, in the thrift stores, and then I would buy extras, and then what I didn't need, I would just flip it on eBay, and then I would make a little money, and I'd put that back into my collection. And that's what I did for years. But what I learned along the way, selling stuff on eBay, was that it's all about presentation. Like, it doesn't matter what you're packaging. And so, like, if I take all these movies and I put them in the box and they get to the guy and magically they don't get damaged, the guy's going to be happy. However, if I put it in there and I make it take an extra effort to wrap it, and then I put a stupid, simple thank you sticker. I bought thank you stickers, and I got whole sheets of them downstairs. And I take a little thank you sticker and I stick it on the inside, so when they open it up, they see the thank you sticker. And that right there, I've gotten so much positive feedback by something as simple as that. And it never dawned on me when I was buying new things. Like, getting something from any store, whether it be an online retailer or Amazon or wherever. But now these Comicscape stuff from Indiegogo, backing all these independent comic book guys, just going that extra mile has been just an amazing experience, and stuff that I didn't think that I needed or I wanted or something that mattered. And I just was thinking, I was like, man, I said that did wonders for me, just putting the thank you sticker on there when I was selling stuff on eBay. And these people wanted that stuff anyway. So this wasn't like me trying to sell them something. They just wanted the thing I was giving them anyway. But I would get not only positive feedback, but I'd get great reviews. And if there was any kind of mistake, because of that little thank you sticker, they were more forgiving and more like, willing to, figure something out, whatever it was. So it was just really cool. And it's just something I've really, really gone to appreciate. And so being a physical media guy, when you're making products and you're putting stuff out there, just put a little bit of effort into it. And man, you're gonna build a customer base that's gonna, far exceed your own expectations. See, Jonathan Jetty Art says NECA is killing it lately. EVS is putting out top-notch stuff. Yes, he is, and yes, they are. I'm not a huge NECA collector. I mean, I don't have a ton of stuff. I've got the Turtles, I got the couple Gremlins, and now I got the Wolfman. I would love to get the Frankenstein, and I would love to get the Creature, but it's all there was on the shelf. So I'm glad to have that in my collection. If I ever get the other ones, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Let's see, Tarks9 says, hail Jeremy Burt. Yeah, hey, yeah, saying hi. Awesome. Thanks for, man. It's such a cool thing too to see that when people get in the chat and say hi to each other. I mean, I go back to thinking like when I just first started this, and I'm just a guy on the internet with some opinions, and if somebody was going to listen to me, that was cool. But then like, not only did people listen to me, no matter what I kind of say, and they could always click off and tune off, but then they get in the chat and they talk to each other. That's just a cool idea, just a cool community. And like, all the times that I've ever listened to people on YouTube, I mostly put it on my TV downstairs. So I put on my PlayStation. And so on the PlayStation, you don't have the chat feature. And so even when they're going live, like I just put it on the background, and I never really understood the importance of the chats and all of this until I started making my own videos, and how cool it is, and actually how much more involved in the community you can be. I always just liked watching the video, and if I really liked the video, I gave it a thumbs up. Like I never really did chats till this year, and then like I think my first super chat I gave somebody was like about a year ago. So I've been watching a lot of these videos and stuff. So to me, just to see that and then experience it myself, and just see how everybody, gets in the chat, and just, they're all, buddy. And then when I go places, they're like, hey buddy, hey man, love your video the other day. And I was like, I had no idea that person was even watching my videos. So that was really cool. Let's see what we got here. Got some more people in the chat. Let's see. Dragon Pisces says, I'm here. I'm sorry I'm late. No problem, man. I'm glad to have you. Thanks for coming on. I opened up my movies. I got a new haul of movies from Kino Lorber. I was just talking about that and how physical media is very important to me. And then I was like talking about my comic book stuff. And so I've just bounced around a little bit. So if you missed it, you can always catch it on the back end. But no, I love having you here. Thanks for coming on, man. Let's see. Shantan J up. Hi. Saying hi there. Let's see. Awesome. Yep, saying hi. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi. Awesome. No, that's cool. Let's see. Tarks9 says, I definitely want EVS Cyberfrog action figures so much to buy, but I have to watch funds to both the lady, and I have to pay off debt, and I could pay mine off by August, trying to squeeze comics, etc. Yeah, no, I totally get it, man. And like, that's the worst thing, is to go into debt to buy this stuff. And, there is so much of it out there. And that's why, like, when I go, like Saturdays when I talk about comics mostly, and I go over like the Indiegogo stuff that I'm backing, like if I didn't back you, more than likely it's not because your product isn't great. It's probably because I didn't have the funds for it. So, that's the thing. The pile is growing of the stuff I gotta get, and the pile's growing of the stuff I gotta read, and the amount of time and the amount of money I have is not growing. So that's where I'm at too, man. I totally get it. But I did, because what is it? He put out the the Blood Honey box that he just put out, that nice box with that whole thing, and Dale Keown did the cover with the acetate, and I should have got that one, but I got the all white version because I was like, I really wanted the collected edition. I liked the fact that whatever mistakes were in the first one, he corrected, and to me that's always great too, because he didn't have to correct it. He already made his money on that and focused on something else, and he corrected it. And I had no problem double dipping and spend a little bit more to get something that was better. So I got the all white version. And now looking at the other ones, I wish I had got one of the other books, but I'm still happy to have it. And instead of putting all my money in the Blood Honey box and getting all those books, I put more of my extra money into the toys. So I got 2 full sets for me, and then I got a couple pieces for my daughter because she loves Cyberfrog. So I'm super, super excited about those. I'm really looking forward to those. And so far, he has impressed me by everything that he's put out. All Caps is killing it with everything. Like I said, my only gripe, and it's not even a major gripe, it's really my fault or my problem. I have a smaller head than normal. Like everyone has a 7.5, like average for men, and mine's a 7.25. So like them stretch hats, after just a few times wearing them, they start to stretch out. So like when I wear it on my live streams, I'm always like adjusting and fixing it, just because talking it just starts getting loose and goes all over the place. So that's not on him. That's more, those kind of hats never stay with me. They get stretched out and then they don't fit right. And it was a large, extra large. And when I buy those hats, I always buy the small mediums, and then they eventually stretch out anyway. So that would be my only little gripe, but it really wasn't him. It really wasn't the product, the quality of the product. It's just, I wasn't able to get the smaller size hat because that's all that was available. Let's see. We got Tarx9 says, oh, it's saying hi. Awesome. Then Tarx9 says, yeah, I ordered the Blood Honey box. So far, I managed to jump on 4 and 5 Comicsgate campaigns. Cool, man. So other than that, like, was there anything you've got so far that you actually really enjoyed, you loved, or you're still waiting on them? But yeah, 4 or 5, that's awesome, man. Let's see. So for EVS, I'm telling you, if any of you out there are making comic books and you're putting it out there, like that's the bar you need to not just, maybe you can't exceed it, but try to compete with it, because that right there, whatever he puts out, I'm probably going to buy it. Like the quality of the stuff, it's fun. It's a fun character. I love his art. It's absolutely amazing. The toys are great. I'm looking forward to that statue. I'm a big statue guy. I love the statues. So between the action figures, the toys, all the extra stuff, it's not just a book. It's not just a story. It's an entire immersive, playground. Like, I mean, like you get into Cyberfrog and it's not just the book. It's like, I go to the store, like I'm wearing a He-Man shirt right now. I love this stuff. I love all of it. So anything that's tied in with it, I love it too. So just that idea is awesome. So if anybody's like making these books and they're putting it out, think about your characters becoming plastic, your characters becoming something else other than what's on the page there, whether it be a poster or, a framed piece of art. Like, think of it in those terms, because that's how I think of it. And that's what I want next. And I understand, like, it's not feasible right away and it might not be attainable even on the next project. But when you are making something, if you could actually just, your character, you're creating your character and you could physically see it being a toy, you got something cool. And that's because that's how I see all these things. And like a lot of I haven't done a ton of comic book reviews, but the ones that I have, when I've done independent comic book reviews, especially Comicsgate stuff, all I ever talk about, you go back and watch those old reviews, they're not the greatest videos because it was when I was first really starting out, but I always talk about, I'm like, hey man, I like this book, or this is what I loved about it, blah, blah, blah. And what I'm looking for on the next campaign is maybe some merchandise tie-ins, like a shirt or something else. Cause like, that's where I'm in. Like if I'm loving the characters and I'm loving that world you built, I want more of that world. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. So to me, that's where I'm at. And if it's attainable for us being independent guys and people that are just, doing stuff on the internet, then it's attainable to more. It's attainable to everybody. So, EVS showed that it can be done. Now, he had a lot of backers. He had a lot of people really interested in it. And then he was able to do something really cool with those action figures. And I'm really looking forward to that. So, and that's my goal for Comicsgate. And that's why I like to talk about it on my channel, even though I'm not like a sole comic guy and I don't just talk about comic books. It seems like most of the time I end up talking, it goes back to that. But no, I just like, for me, I like to push it out so much. I like to talk about it because, and I talk about it to people out in the street. Like when I go to stores, I wear my all cap shirt, I wear my hats, I wear the stuff. And so like on a second campaign, if I really liked your book and you're having a shirt or something, I'll probably pick it up. And then, if somebody asks me what it's about, I'll definitely tell them, hey, I got it. There's this independent comic book and this is where you go to find it. And so I definitely talk about it. And the few times I've worn my stuff, I always wear my stuff when I go to the comic book shop, but they never talk about my shirt. And even the one time I wore the Dale Keown Cyber Frog shirt that he had, and I was looking for I picked up the Dale Keown Pit stuff. We were talking about Dale Keown's Pit, that it'd be great. The guy mentioned it when he was giving me the books, that it'd be great if he put out an omnibus or something like that. And I said, there's rumblings about that. I said, he's doing some independent stuff now. He's working on some other people's covers, and he actually did this shirt. And then as soon as I said that, like the dude instantly was just like, oh, cool, man. All right, see you later. And so it almost seemed like he cut the conversation. So I don't know if he was familiar with the negative stuff about Comicsgate, but that's what it seemed like there. Let's see. We have, let's see. Oh, I missed let's get caught up on these chats. Let's see. We got Tarx9 says, yeah, I want EBS caps. Got a comic con in September. Cool. Yeah. I haven't been to a Comic Con. The one I was going to go to, I was living in Rhode Island, and it was the one that was announced as Stan Lee's last live Comic-Con performance, or like where he was going to be for a Comic-Con specifically to do signatures. And he was going to be there. Cassandra Peterson was going to be there. So she's Elvira. So a big fan. So I was going to go, and I wasn't even going to go to get Stan Lee's signature for me. I was going to go to get it for my older daughter, because at the time she was big into Spider-Man and she was real big into Stan Lee. And so I was going to go, and then my youngest daughter was born that weekend. So I was just like, oh, I missed out on Stan Lee. But then like, I think he canceled anyway. I think he had like health issues that time anyway, but for the rest of her life, I will tell her that it's her fault that I missed out Stan Lee. So, let's see. Tarx9, Blood Honey, waiting for, but ordering books and cards from EVS eBay store. Love the cards, love from the campaign. Yeah, no, and some of the stuff, like, he doesn't do it all the time, but if he does one of them like live stream sales, snag it up, because that'll be the best price you're going to get, unless you're going to back it right away. Like backing it's the cheapest way to go, but if you can at the time, I totally get it. There's so many campaigns I've missed out on. Like I said, I didn't do the Blood Honey box because I really wanted those toys, and I'm nuts. So I bought a set to not open and a set to open. So, and then a couple pieces for my kids, because she wanted to get Cyberfrog. She loves him so much. Like there was this thing, and it's like, it sounds like I'm making it up, but there was this, and so it was raining, and there's a frog jumped on the window and stuck to the glass, and she just yells and she goes, "Cyberfrog's home!" So I tweeted out, and I tagged Ethan in it, and he thought that was great. But it was just like, she really said it, and I just thought it was really funny. So I ended up going on eBay and picking her up a woman's extra small shirt so she could wear it to bed. That's how much she loves the character. So then when I got the toys, she was so excited, and they were pricey. So, and she's never going to understand how pricey they were. So she's like, "Are they for me?" And I said, "No, they're for me." So then she gave me the lip, and so I got her a Cyberfrog, I got her the Vespis, and I got her Heather. So I got her those things. So, and I don't know if I'm going to let her have the Vespis. I think I'm going to keep it. So I'll have extra Vespis. So I think she'll just have Heather and Cyberfrog. I think that's how that'll work. Let's see. Tarx9 says, other Comicsgate campaigns are on demand and finishing up later on. Yeah, no, I've got a couple of those. I've been back in Comicsgate stuff for a long time. And I just recently went through and just backed a whole bunch of new ones. So I'm excited about that. But the only ones I'm really waiting for, like, it was Cash Grab, obviously. Fatal from Clint Stoker. I'm waiting on that one. And Oddity and Battle Brick Road. But I know Battle Brick Road's coming. Like that one I'm super excited about. Eric Weathers did that one. I'm very excited about that one. But the only ones I'm like, not that I'm not sure about, but I'm waiting on, and I just don't know where they're sitting on. It would be Oddity, Fatal, and Cash Grab. Let's see. Tarx9 says, what do you think about Wesley Snipes' new comic book coming out in a few months? First day backers get a free action figure. Okay, I heard it because I saw it on Michael Bancroft's thing and they were talking about it, but then I was dealing with my kid and like doing some stuff. So I wasn't really like catching everything they were doing. So I haven't had a chance to sit down and like see what they were doing, but just them talking about it makes me want to watch the Blade movies again. So I'm into it. I love Wesley Snipes. It's one of the greatest action heroes of the time, from the 90s, all those great movies. You had him, you had Wesley Snipes, you had, Chuck Norris was there, but I always thought Chuck Norris was like a B actor. Wasn't my favorite, but, it was Wesley Snipes, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis. Like those were like my guys, Sylvester Stallone, those are my guys. And so, yeah, so I'm definitely excited about that. And for me, that Blade movie, that was just like a game changer for me because it had martial arts, it had vampires, it had just all this stuff, and then it was a Marvel movie, and I was just like, this is cool. And so whatever they're putting out, I'm gonna check it out. I didn't know there was an action figure. Depending on what the book's about, I'll check it out. I don't know. Is he riding on the coattails of like what Keanu Reeves did with Berserker? Because I picked up Berserker. I have that, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. It looked cool, so I picked it up. But I don't know if he's riding on those coattails of like, action star celebrity doing a comic book, or if this was just a really, really cool idea that he was trying to work on for a while. That would be interesting to find out. Let's see. Tarx9 says, in 2019, last con we went to was great. Met Tom Grumet, paid $120 for beautiful Superman art. Forgot I had sketch blank covers in my backpack, so I bought vintage Motu cards. So cool. Yeah, so cool. That is really cool. I would love to go. There's the Galaxy cons are going on right now, and man, I'd love to go to that, or I'd love to be able to see it because like Tim Curry's there, and he's not doing meet and greets, because I think they're still doing because the COVID stuff, so they're doing virtual, and it's expensive. It's like $120 or $125 for like a minute, and you do like a video chat, and then they take a picture. So he's on one half, and you're on the other half, and they take a picture that way. I'm like, that's cool, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it's so cool. It'd be cool to meet him. Tim Curry, I absolutely love him. He's one of my favorite actors of that time, and so he's going to be there. And then I just picked up for the Galaxy Con. I picked up Gilman. I can never remember his name on these live streams. Rico something or other. He was the diver in the Gilman suit for Creature from the Black Lagoon. So I picked him up. I got two autographs of his, and I feel like a retard. I can't remember his name. It always happens on these streams. I start stumbling names. Like I was talking about Shane Davis for like ever one time. I was talking about his Starlight Cats book and everything, and I couldn't remember his name. And I watch his streams all the time, and his name is synonymous with Comicsgate and Ethan and all those guys. If you know any of those guys, Shane Davis, and I just couldn't spit his name out for the life of me. It's the same thing. Let's see. German Birds, I think Oddity is printing soon. That'd be cool. I'm really into that one. That one just looked really fun, and I just don't know the last time I got an update. I mean, I'm sure they have, but a lot of those times I just don't read it. I'm just like, oh, it's Indiegogo erase, unless it's like, hey, we're not able to do it and we're going to refund your money, that kind of thing. I might check it out. Most of the time I just erase those Indiegogo things. Michael Bancroft, hey man, welcome. Thanks for popping in the chat. It says Clint said he only has a couple pages left to finish on Fatal. Yeah, I'm not worried about that one at all. I'm really not. I definitely am looking forward to that one though, because I picked up his other book. Maybe it wasn't him. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting confused. I definitely get back Fatal, and I'm looking forward to that one. Maybe I didn't pick up one of his other books, but that one I am looking forward to, and I'm not worried about that one at all. But I don't know the last time I got an update. Jeremy Burtz, hail Michael Bancroft. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, I love having you in here. It's a statue. What's a statue? Let's see. The Wesley Snipes thing is a statue. I'll get it. I love statues. Michael Bancroft, yeah, he's saying hey. Yep, everyone's saying hello. Huh. Let's see. Lose 25 IQ points whenever I turn on the stream. I know I do. Like there's some because like if I'm talking to my wife who doesn't care about any of this stuff, like I have so many facts and so many things, and she doesn't care about any of it. And I get on here and like I'm just like and I was just like the one time I was just dying laughing, like I couldn't remember. Oh, what was it? I was wearing a Spaceballs shirt and I didn't realize I was wearing a Spaceballs shirt. And I don't remember who was in the chat at the time, but they were they made Spaceballs references, and so I think Tarx9 was there, and like so they were making Spaceballs references, and it took me a second to get it. So then I was like, oh, Spaceballs reference, ha! And then I was like, oh, I'm wearing the shirt, ha ha ha! Like it took a second. I was just like, man, yeah. Let's see. Michael Bancroft, are you following me? Yeah, he is. He's stalking you. Let's see. Roger Ryder, hey, welcome to the chat. Thanks for coming on the stream. MB made 700 playing poker, but blew a tire headed home. Okay. All right. Well, that sucks about the tire, and good luck getting home. Michael Bancroft lol. Let's see. Hey, Roger Ryder. Yeah, no, thanks for coming in. Yeah, howdy. So, yeah, no, I was just talking about earlier, I was talking about all my physical media and stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys are making comic books and you're getting into it, like I really, really enjoyed the extras. Like, Michael, you're in the chat, like just the prints that you put in the book, like that to me was just really cool. It wasn't necessary. It was enjoyable to have. Like, it was just a nice touch, and the art, the prints are nice, but then, I think they're an odd size because I couldn't get a frame, like just a standard frame to put them in, that Australian, conversion there, whatever you guys do. It just couldn't. So I'm gonna have to go get them professionally framed to get them up on the wall, which isn't a big deal. I do that all the time, but I was just like, man, they're not like a standard, like 11 by 17 or an 8 by 10. They're just like a little off. So and I'm like, oh, that's right. He's in Australia. I didn't think about it at the time. Let's see. Got sounds like final bad beat for you for the night. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, they're Aussie sized. Yeah, no, I figured that. But no, it's just a really cool thing to get that stuff, and just being a guy who loves all this stuff, like toys and movies and comic books and all this stuff. And I'm just a collector of things, and I always have been. When you can go above and beyond, and I'm not saying break the bank, but just that simple thing. And what I was saying earlier is, like, when I used to sell things on eBay, I used to just put a simple thank you sticker every time I put stuff on eBay, and those people were trying to get the stuff because they wanted it, like specifically whatever I was selling, they wanted it. You guys are selling comic books, so you have to like sell your product, and then people have to want it. So just that simple idea of the better packaging, the extras, and because I never really cared too much about the stretch goals. I mean, I totally get why they're there. I'm not saying get rid of them. Some people love those things, and those are really cool. If anybody could ever do fridge magnets, and I know you did. I did with the hand. You put that hand on there, and it wasn't until after I got it, I didn't understand there was some weird thing you couldn't draw hands very well. I didn't get it. I literally said, "What the hell is this ugly hand?" I just stuck it on the fridge. I figured it'd tell me in the book, but then it wasn't until afterwards that somebody was talking about it on a live stream, and I was like, oh, that's why that hand is there, and I had forgot about it. But I love fridge magnets. If you guys could do that type of stuff's cool to me. But I've never been a trading card guy. I literally, anytime I get trading cards, my daughter takes most of them, and they're almost always all over our floor, but I do use them for bookmarks. So if anybody's making bookmarks, that's a cool thing. But like, just how things are done with the better packaging, the better presentation. It's not only is it appealing, but it makes me want to go back. Like, I will pay the extra shipping. Like some stuff is not worth getting, but I will always pay the extra shipping to get your book, Michael, to get this, lucent, and get the next one painted. Painted Dream. I think it's Painted Dream. I don't know. Forgive me. I signed up for it. I'm going to get it. But that book, I'm looking forward to it. And I'll pay the extra shipping because the first book was so amazing. The little bit of extras you had, and the quality of the paper, just top notch. The fact that it's not stapled, it was a glued binding. It was just sits on the shelf very nicely. Everything about it just top notch. So for me, I will pay the extra shipping to get it. I will always have unless the next book is really just dog shit, which I'm not expecting it will be, but that's the only way I'd be like, oh, thanks. It was a good run, but that would be it. That would be the only thing. But I'm so far, I like what I see, and I'm a fan for life. Let's see. We got to catch up on these chats. Let's see. We got let's see. Dragon Pisces. I'm currently making a comic, but until it's done, I'm planning on doing short stories on YouTube, non-related to comics. Well, that's cool, man. Dragon Pisces. That's just a cool way to start, to get your stories out there. I said there's a lot of great dudes that just tell short stories on the internet. So there's the one guy. He's a good friend of mine. He Tattoo Biker. He tells these stories about and they're true stories. They're stories he finds. He's not making them up, but and they're short and they're stories, and people enjoy listening to that. So if you're just going to make some short stories and put them on the internet, that's just a cool way to get your name out there. And then if people really like your stories, they're going to find you on YouTube. So that's a cool idea. And then work on your comic book. That's cool, man. Let's see, Michael Brankoff. Lol. Yeah. See, Roger Ryder. I'm writing a story too. Should be crowdfunding end of summer. That'd be cool. Well, if you honestly, this is the first time I've seen you in the chats. I didn't know who you were till now. So I'm glad to have you on. If I can check you out somewhere, if you got like a channel or social media somehow or something I could see, I would definitely love to check it out. I love indie comics. I love crowdfunding comics, and if it's a cool thing, I mean, even if it's not that cool, but if it's something that I believe in, I'll talk about it on my channel. I'll point people in that direction. So if you got stuff to show, put your stuff out there. But if you got a link to any of your stuff, if you've got like art, or if you've got any part of the book made, put your link out there. I'll check it out. Let's see. Painted Death. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So sorry. I know I signed up for it. So I don't know. When I said it, I was thinking like, the first one's Walking Dream or Waking Dream. And I was like, Painted Dream. I was thinking Painted Dream. And I was just like, that doesn't sound right. So let's see. Jeremy Burt's Painted Dream. Yeah, like that title. Yeah, it's just I knew I signed up for it, but yeah, Painted Dream, Walking Dream. It's all the same. It comes from Australia, and I like it. Oh, hey, now that I got you in the chat, Michael. So a while back I did this movie review from the 80s, and it's something that I loved as a kid, and then I loved it again when I watched it. But so it was this film where I'm from. It's called The Quest, but it was filmed in Australia, but apparently down in Australia it was called Frog Dreaming, and it was just like crazy 80s movie with the kid from E.T. was in it, and he was the only American, but everybody else was 100% Australian actors and locals, and they find this rock quarry, and it's got like a little lake in the rock quarry, and there's this monster that comes out, and they think it's a monster, and it was just really cool. And then just doing the research on that movie, I found out that in some countries it was called Frog Dreaming, and another country it was called something else. But we had this really cool movie poster for it, where the kid was standing there he's got all this gear on, and he's going for an adventure, and he's got this it looks like a rifle. He's holding this rifle, and I think in the movie it was just like a harpoon gun or something, like nothing crazy, but like on the cover it looked like a rifle. It was just really, really awesome. And and then in the background the monsters coming out of the water and trying to get them, and then around the 2000s, because that's the VHS cover. So that's the cover I remembered when I was a kid. But then I picked up the VHS at the thrift store at one time, and the cover that was on there is this really boring cover where it shows him and he's holding his bicycle handles, and then in the background it shows like a mountain and some like water, and nothing about that is appealing. But then that was put out in around 2000, which would be about the same time that they put out they digitally erased the guns out of the E.T. movie for that anniversary edition. Everybody was upset that they did that, and so it was just the gun culture erasure. And so then when I started looking at it, the frog dreaming, wherever that was, I think that was the one in Australia. That one had like the coolest movie poster. Like it was all painted. It was very reminiscent of like stuff we've seen before, like the Conan the Barbarian, like that type of stuff. Is just like really cool and getting you into the adventure. So while you're here, I had to ask. Sorry, I rambled for a bit on this movie, but it was the one I liked and I'd made meaning to find out. Let's see. Shanthan Jetty says, Michael Bancroft, you have great fan here. Yeah. No, big fan. Let's see. Thank you. No, I mean, sorry I messed up the name, but I did like your book and I will get the next one. And like I said, unless it's not great, then, I might stop there, but I'm all on board to get the next one. Let's see. The Lucent Huffing Paint. It's okay. See, Shanthan Jetty, Lol, Mike, yeah. Roger Ryder, first stream going to be next Thursday, also on Twitter and have website. Okay, man. If you're not, because as I said, the first I've seen you in this chat and stuff, and any of the others, follow me on Twitter. So it's at 80s Made Consumer on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter if we're not already there, and hit me up, and then I'll be sure to follow. I'll check you out. I'll watch your stream, and I'll be sure to check you out. And then if you're putting out some really cool stuff, I'll make sure to talk about it. Let's see. Michael Bancroft. Yeah, I loved Frog Dream when I was a kid. Yeah, okay, so that's what it was. I was just in Australia. Yeah, I loved it as a kid. And then the couple, every Sunday. I don't know if you've watched all my videos, but if you've watched some of my other ones, every Sunday, my family and I, we watch 80s movies. We make extra effort to watch an 80s movie every Sunday, no matter what. And sometimes we get through more than one, but it's every Sunday we do this. And then since before I started going on YouTube, I was putting them on Twitter. I was like posting that. I was like, hey man, every Sunday we watch 80s movies. This is what we're watching today. And then just the positive response I was getting. And then the people are like, oh, I've never seen that before. What's that about? And so then I was like, oh, and then I wanted to start the YouTube channel, just talking about all the stuff I love. And so every Sunday I do the review. I watch a couple of 80s movies and then I talk about them. And then Frog Dreaming was one of them. And I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, and I just forgot how much I loved it. It was just fun. Like in the beginning, when he was on that bike, he builds this contraption so he can ride on the railroad tracks to get to school. But then he like loses his brakes and he loses control, and then like the whole town is chasing him. As a kid, man, I thought that was the coolest thing ever because I always wanted to do stuff like that. So that was a good movie, and that poster, I just love that poster. Let's see, General Piggy Hale, my friend Tarx9. Yeah, General Piggy, thanks for coming back. Let's see. All right, let's see. We have Tarx9, Hale, General Piggy, just saying hi. Yep. Tarx9, yes, I can order Michael Bancroft's first book from CG. Takes me to your eBay store. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's and that CG Now, that website, that's really good idea. I really appreciate that because just going to CG Now, and I've seen books that I hadn't seen, just thumbing through Indiegogo myself, because truth be told, I'm lazy like everybody else. So when they're doing the launch party streams and everyone's talking about it, and speaking of launch party streams, how about that Billy Tucci and the She book he just put out? Now I backed the heck out of that. I put some money into that one, but he's up there. Let's check that one out. Let's see, what do we got? I haven't seen that one. But like the first day, he had quite a bit of funding the first day. Let's see. Indiegogo. Let's see. Oh, it's right here. Oh, he broke 100,000 already. That's crazy. Let's see. Share screen. There we are. Yeah, I was like, that is amazing. And Billy Tucci, he's one of my, in my top 5 favorite artists, and I absolutely love it. And this looks even better than the stuff he's done before, and I'm super excited. So I got the hoodie, I got the book, I got the hardcover book, and I got an art print. There's a couple art prints I'd like to get, later on, but man, 100,000 and just like it hasn't even been up a week. Like when he just launched this like a couple days ago. That is cool. That is really awesome. I love Comicsgate, and the books like this you can't go to the store and buy these right now. Like that's the cool part about it, that we were told that, especially in nerd culture, that nobody wants this. This is outdated stuff from the 90s. Nobody wants this. Well, clearly they do. Clearly they do. So I'm super excited about this, and I can't wait to have this book in my hands. That is really cool. 100,000. Wow. I can't wait till see when he, the closeout stream, to see how far he gets. That's awesome. Let's see. Let's get that out of there. Let's get some more of these chats down. Let's see. Oh, I had that. So Michael Bancroft, I'd actually forgotten about Frog Dreaming. Yeah, no, I forgot about it too until I picked up the movie. Well, here it's called The Quest, and I hadn't thought about it at all. Like I just remember seeing it as a kid and just thinking how cool it was, and just everything about that movie I just thought was great. And then I forgot all about it, and I saw it. I physically saw it. I was in the store, the thrift store. They had the VHS tape, and I picked this up, and I was like, "Oh man, I haven't seen this since I was a kid." But then I noticed it had like this crappy cover, and I was like, "It's not the same cover, but it's the same movie." And then I probably picked it up a couple years back, and it's been sitting on my shelf. But then making the effort to watch an 80s movie specifically every Sunday. And then when I tweeted that one out and I said, hey, I don't remember what other movie I was watching at the time, but I tweeted out the two movies. I said, these are the two movies we're watching for 80s Sunday movie. And I had so much great response. Like people were like, oh yeah, I love that movie. I forget, the same thing. So yeah, I forgot about it too. And I enjoyed it. It was good. Definitely good. Let's see. Jeremy Burt's Hail Piggy. See Tarks 9. Wow, that's awesome. Billy putting She on Kickstarter next week. I think a Canadian online store has a bunch of She 90s original books. Issue 1 sold through. Wow. Okay, yeah. So I went to back in March, beginning of March was my wife's birthday, and she doesn't like any of this nerd stuff. And I was like, hey man, do you want to go? You want to go to the comic book store? And she was like, whatever. So I dragged her to the comic book store on her birthday because she didn't want to do anything. And I ended up thumbing through the dollar bins, and I was looking for Pitt because everyone's talking about Pitt. It's something I missed completely. I didn't know anything about it. And I kind of knew who Dale Keown was, hearing that he did all the Hulk stuff and stuff, but like I didn't really like remember anything from that he did. And so Pitt was brand new to me. I didn't know nothing about it. And so I went looking for it. I wanted to get something just to be able to read it so I could understand what all the hype was about, like what everybody was talking about. Like obviously I saw the art. I had the Cyber Frog shirt that he made, that he did that image of. And I've seen all the stuff that Ethan shows that Dale's been working on. So I went to go and I said, hey man, do you got any Pitt stuff? And he's like, nah. I do, but it's in storage. Give me a couple of days. I'll call you back and get it for you. So I go to the dollar bins and thumb through, and there's this whole stack of She books from the 90s, and they all look like they're in mint condition, and they're just sitting on top. I didn't even have to thumb through the bins to find it. And I was just like, oh, I went for Pitt and I came out with Tucci. So yeah, so I don't have issue 1 or anything, but I have just a couple random ones and just great art. And then there was like a couple, ones where he did the cover, but it was somebody else's book, but still it was under his Crusade Comics line. And then yeah, that was it. So I had a good time, and definitely Tucci's great, and I can't imagine what is going to happen once he goes to Kickstarter, and like just to actually figure out the final numbers. That'd be cool. Let's see. Then got Hail My Friend, Jeremy Burt's. Yeah. No, and then yeah, so I don't know what else is launching, but I think Saturday I was going to do a show, and it was going to focus mostly just on comics, and I was going to actually go through, not only talk about the books I've been reading lately, but I was going to pull up the Indiegogo stuff and maybe even the Kickstarter. I don't usually shop on Kickstarter myself. Not out of principle, but because I've always shopped on Indiegogo, so I'm just one of them guys that I don't like it to do a new thing. So, this works for me. I enjoy it. I like this stuff. So to venture somewhere else, it's not that I won't do it, but I just haven't, because I know I missed out on the Todd McFarlane, the action figures that he put out. I missed out on that because that was all on Kickstarter. So there's that. Let's see what we got here. Tarks 9 says Graham Nolan book going on Kickstarter to introducing more Comicsgate, branch out, more money too. Yeah, no, and I mean I totally get it. That makes sense. Like you know, why not do that? And then I just found out. Let's see. Speaking of Graham Nolan, Graham Nolan. Okay, so I am a huge fan of this guy right here. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, I'm not going to pull that up. That's got my name on it. Let's see. Okay. So I just found out this, and I don't know if anybody else knew this or he's talked about it before, but let's see. So Graham Nolan did the Phantom. I don't know if you guys know about this, but the Phantom's been running since 1936. They're still putting the comic strips out, and then Graham Nolan worked on the Phantom. I didn't know. So it's something I'd like to check out, but then the book was on the more expensive side. And then when I went to YouTube it to see somebody like actually have the physical book, it looked like it was like from the comic strip. So it looked like he worked on a comic strip portion of it. And so they were long. So then the book is, you know, about this tall, but it's long and it doesn't fit on my shelf perfect. And then it was, I think they were like $50 or so, but I was like, if I was going to drop $50 on a book, I'd pick up that Frazetta book I've been looking at. But no, I had no idea. I don't know if you guys did, because I know some of the other stuff that Graham Nolan did, but I'm a huge fan of the Phantom, and I've always loved the comics. I know that they did the pulp books, the magazines. Lee Falk did those, and yeah, it was created in 1936, and it was a comic strip for the newspaper, and it's still put in the newspaper today. Like I don't remember ever seeing it that way. I don't think. Maybe I did. Maybe when I was a kid I did. But to know that they're still put in there in like hundreds of countries, like not just here, and like it's loved all around the world, and they're still making it. That was just really cool to me. And then doing the research on it, just to find out all the old stuff, because I mean they made TV shows, they made video games, they made serials, they did the 2 movies, and then to see that pop up, I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Dark Knight Frog Dreaming movie on YouTube. Yeah. He's like, I'm sure it is, and that was a cool cover too. Let's see. We had this Quest movie poster. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. Here's the Quest movie poster. And then you guys had this awesome thing. It's a frog. I think that there was another country you called it. I think it was like Spirit Chasing or something. It was another weird cover. And then it had like this cloaked guy on the dock going into where the water, but then that was it. It was just very weird and ominous. And it was, and I don't remember where it was, but it was like in like maybe Belgium or something. It was like a weird place. And that was called, I think it was called the Spirit Chaser there. Frog Dreaming. Poster. Let's see. So like very much. Oh, here I was able to pull it up on one. Okay. So this is what we had here in America in the 80s. And then there's other like really crappy one for the re-release. But this was just a cool poster. Here, I can get this on. Let's see. Brand. All right. So this was what we had. And it was just a cool movie poster. I just remember loving it. This is when I went to the video store and I first saw this. That's what I had picked up and that's what I held in my hand. And everything about that was just cool. For being a boy in the 80s, I just wanted it. And the monster in the background, everything about it was great. But then when I did the research for my my video, I saw what Frog Dreaming had in Australia. Now tell me that that is not the coolest cover for a kids movie in the 80s. That is awesome. And again, it's very reminiscent of Conan or even that was probably a derivative of the Vacation movie poster with Chevy Chase, like very similar to that, but that was a derivative of Conan. So to me, that's awesome. And I probably am going to try to track that poster down and just to get it for myself, because that was the first I'd ever seen of it or heard of it. And, just the power of the internet and being able to, talk to people in a whole different country and then see stuff like that, I never knew that existed, but I've seen the movie a bunch of times. Let's see. Let's see. Black Rose Comics. Hey man, welcome to the chat. Love having you here. Love your channel. When I catch it live. One of my favorite channels. You guys are a fun group of guys. Let's see. Tarks 9. Hail Black Rose Comics. Yeah, cheers. Yeah. No, he's definitely one of the good ones. One of the fun ones to watch. Yeah, I'm just saying hi again. Let's see. Jeremy Burt's. Hail Black Rose Comics. Yeah. Let's see. Jeremy Burt's. Everybody saying hi. Now that's great poster art. Yeah, no, and that's my biggest thing. Like, I love art, and so that's what draws me into comics and like Comicsgate and all that stuff. Like everything about art is what is appealing to me, because I don't draw, so, and I just love it. So to have an awesome poster, to have a great cover, and that's why I get like the idea of having like a really awesome artist do your cover for your book. But if you have like a really awesome cover, but then the interiors are not that great, to me that's like almost like a middle finger. Like, I can get if you have great interiors and then you have a great cover because they're different artists and then they don't match, that's fine. But if the interiors are awesome and the cover is awesome, I totally get it. So like these awesome old movie posters, I did a whole video on it. I was talking about old movie posters. I love the painted ones because there's something about it. Like, you can see my Star Wars one back there. I've got Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Those were all painted, and now you just get photocopies or like photoshopped images of pictures of the actors, and they're boring and the same, and like that is cool. And even the one we had was a cool movie poster, but the Frog Dreaming one, that's a cool movie poster. And it's somebody painted that, and so you have the idea, and somebody painted the quest. So you have two different artists that were given the same premise of the movie, and that's what they came up with. The guy who did the Australian one wins in my book, though. Let's see. Black Rose Comics. Thanks, man. Yeah, no. When I say stuff, I don't blow smoke. I'm being serious. Like, I love watching your channel. I don't catch it all the time live, but when I do, just a good group of guys, real fun to watch. Let's see. Let's see. Finally, compliment. Yeah, no, well, I'm glad he got one. Let's see. Tarks 9. 80s has some of the best movies, but really cool poster art. Yes. No, we do, man. And for a second, I thought you were talking about me, because like most people just call me 80s. So then I was like, yeah, I do. I got some awesome posters, but I don't think I showed them to you. So yeah, no, in the 80s, yeah, we had the greatest movie posters. And sometimes like the movie sucked. Like the movie was just dog shit, but the poster was wicked cool. And some of them, I mean, I would collect the poster just because how awesome it is. And there was this one I remember I talked about. It was like it Came from the Sea, I think is the name of the movie, but it was this like horrible movie. And like there's this guy in it was like this like crappy monster suit that was probably like made of yarn. It was kind of fuzzy, and he comes out of the water and he has like googly eyes, and it's just really not even scary, but but stupid and campy from the like I think the movie was in the 50s. It was a black and white, but the movie poster was so awesome. It had this like giant arm coming out of the water, and it was holding a woman in its hand. And it's huge, but then the real monster was about the size of a man. So like somebody painted that awesome movie poster, and then the movie sucked. So this is the same thing. There was some really awesome movies in the 80s, but then there were some really crappy ones, but the movie posters were awesome. They were all good. I don't remember being too many bad ones that I was just like, this is dumb. I don't want to see this, but they were just very imaginative. Like think about like what was that one? What the heck was it? It was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Like just a simple movie poster. They had so that was fine. You know, they had the magnifying glass. But then they had the sequel. The sequel was stupid. But it was Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. And he had the giant kid with his foot, and he was about to step on him. You know, and just like that kind of imagination you don't see anymore in the movies. Like I'm surprised like the Godzilla movie didn't just have all the human characters just on the cover and no Godzilla at all. Like you get very boring stuff now. Let's see. Turks 9, All Black Rose, yeah. Yeah, no, so I'm a big fan of art. And so like if you're making comic books and you're getting into that, and you're putting out a good product, good cover, great art, good story, that type of stuff is awesome. But like just to that little bit to go above and beyond and just to put out like the best of the best. And like I've been going through and seeing some of these Indiegogo campaigns where I have missed the campaign until like somebody had mentioned it on one of the live streams. They're talking about it, and they're talking about how cool it is. And the initial art that I saw, the initial page, whatever they were focusing on, it wasn't the best stuff. It wasn't the best image that they should be selling. And so I was just like, oh, pass. I don't want it. And then later on, someone's like, oh, it was such a great book. And I missed out on it. And there's a couple that I've had to, luckily, I've been able to play catch up on, getting the tears afterwards. And then some of them I've been able to play catch up. I just never heard of them at all. Like, what was it? The Perfect 10. I didn't even hear about that one at all until now there's like the third book or whatever's going on now. I got that one, and then I did the catch up tier. So sometimes it's because I missed it because of other reasons, but there has been books that people have said are really good, and I've missed because for whatever reason, that first image I saw of it just didn't grab me. Let's see. Tarks 9. Check Eric the Viking movie poster. Willow was nice too. Yeah, I love the Willow poster. And then there's what was it? I have many copies of Willow. I've got Willow on DVD, Blu-ray, a couple copies on VHS. I even have like the clamshell, like the Disney style clamshell VHS case. But then I wanted to get Burt Reynolds' Gator because I hadn't seen it, and somebody had a lot of VHS tapes on eBay, and I got them all for like $1 a piece and with free shipping. So I was like, oh, that's no big deal. I'll get those. And because it had Gator in there, and it's one of the ones I had never seen from Burt Reynolds. And in that, it had a bunch of movies that I already had, one of them being Willow. And then that movie art, I had never seen it before. So then I gave my daughter one of the copies. I put that up on that shelf, and that's my go-to now because the cover art is just really cool. And just to think of how many times that they've done that. But yeah, no, Willow, I love that movie too. Like all those fantasy stuff from the 80s. I just don't think you can beat it. Let's see. Let's check out that picture. Let's see. So it's Eric the Viking. Eric the Viking movie poster. Get the hell out of here. Wow, this is a cool one. Wow, let's check this out. Let's get rid of that. Let's see. That is a cool movie poster right there. See if we can make this bigger. Let's see. Take me here. Can I make it bigger? Yeah. It didn't really make it bigger, but wow, a fun trip through the dark ages. So it's a comedy. You can fight the gods and still have a good time. Okay, this one I've never seen. I've seen a lot of movies, and I've never seen this one. I'm gonna have to track this down now because that poster is freaking cool. Was it a good movie? Let's see. I don't want to watch the trailer. I don't know how that works on here, watching trailer and copyright. But yeah, comedy, adventure, fantasy. Okay, I'm in. You've sold me. Let's see. And then while we're at it, we can look at the Willow one. Let's see. Willow. Yeah, okay. So then in here is the same one they have for the VHS cover. So it is this. So this movie poster is what I have for the VHS cover, and I thought it was really cool. I haven't seen one, so I kept it in my collection there. But yeah, let's see. This is the one that I used to see in forever. I've seen this one a bunch of times. It's on a couple covers. I've seen them. I remember seeing the movie poster at the video rental stores when I was a kid. I'd go, so I remember seeing that one. But this other one was cool. And then this one, I had never saw this. It's going to take me to Amazon. I don't want to go to Amazon. This one. So that one's pretty cool. I'd never seen that one either. That one would make me want to see the movie, even if I didn't already know I loved it. Let's see. It looks like it was in a different language. So it was probably for another country, but still a cool movie poster. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. The 90s novels for Willow were not bad. Oh, I didn't know they existed. I didn't know. I didn't read a lot of that stuff when I was a kid, because anytime I brought that stuff home, my mom was nuts. She was tricked by the satanic panic stuff, but then she was like a religious nut too. So if I brought anything in the home that she thought had witchcraft in it, but I could watch the movie and it didn't bother her. But like if it had witchcraft in it or any of that type of stuff, it was like an absolute no. And I remember I brought home this when I was a kid, it was like Greek mythology stories, this whole thing. I was really into it. I was super excited, watching Jason the Argonauts and like all those other old movies. And I was like, oh, I want to read these stories, and then so I brought it home, and then she made me read the Bible. Like if I could read a one story in this book, like just to get one little story, I had to read like 20 minutes in the Bible, and then I had to read, and it was just a pain in the butt. So then I stopped bringing books home. So not that I stopped reading in general, but like there was a span from like third grade to high school that I just really stopped bringing books home because it was just nonsense. And so there's a whole bunch. Like I remember when I was a kid, everyone was reading the expanded universe Star Wars, and I remember seeing those, in school, and it always interested me, but I never got into it. And then later on, I used to work overnights, and when I do third shift, and I would find them on tape, and you could find them on YouTube where people were reading them on tape, so you didn't have to pay for it, and I would listen to those, and so I enjoyed it that way. But yeah, I'll check them out especially if there's more than one. Like was there like a whole bunch of them? Because you said novels, so I don't know if there was supposed to be one or if there was actually like a whole group of them. Because if there's a whole group and it builds this whole world, I'll probably get into it. I like that stuff. Let's see, Dragon Slayer 2. Yes, is that the cartoon? Because I think I remember that one. Let's see, Dragon. It's been a while. Let's see, Dragon Slayer movie poster. Oop. Poster. Let's see. No, what is this? Okay, no, I don't remember this. I was thinking of this. No, that's cool. I have to check that out now too, because I thought Dragon Slayer was a cartoon. This looks really cool. Let's see. Yeah, that looks really cool. In the Dark Ages, magic was a weapon, and love was a mystery. Adventure was everywhere, and dragons were real. So that looks pretty cool. And now I have to man, I said, going on this stream like is great because there's so many things that everyone's like, you got to check this out. You got to look at this. And now separate from my reading list, now the movies I got to watch are growing and growing and growing. So that's awesome. Let's see if I can see I'm going to take this down real quick. I don't know if it's going to ruin anything. Let's see. I wonder what it says on IMDb. Let's see. IMDb Dragon Slayer. Dragon. But I know there was some kind of cartoon dragon movie from the 80s. Because I remember seeing a movie poster on it, and it was something to do with dragons. Let's see. Dragon Slayer. Was it a video game? No, it was a movie. When was this movie? Okay, so here's probably what I'm thinking. There's this original cartoon. No, that's some kind of anime thing. I don't know. Let's see, when did that movie come out? Does it say? Dragon Slayer movie poster. Let's see, what does Amazon say? 1981. Okay, that's not what the other thing was saying. Let's see, IMDb says Dragon Slayer 1981 says, yeah, that is a pretty cool movie poster. It says action adventure fantasy. Okay, it's right in my alley. It's the same type of stuff Willow. So it's an hour and 49 minutes, and it's rated PG. But in the 80s, PG could have, topless women and all kinds of stuff because Yellowbeard is rated PG and it has all that stuff. And Yellowbeard is great. But no, that's cool. I'm gonna have to check this out. Is it more like Willow or is it more like slower pace like is it Lady Hawk? Is it more like Lady Hawk or is it more like Willow? Because they all fall into that same action adventure fantasy. Let's see. Chris Fisk. Hey man, welcome. Thanks for coming on. Always glad to have you on. It's a shame no one was able to make decent Dragonlance films. The cartoon was so awful, and the studio abandoned it less than a decade after it was made. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. There was a dragon cartoon. I was thinking about the 80s, and that's what I thought they were talking about there. So then Dragonlance. I just can't remember what it was because when he said Dragon Slayer, I thought it was this cartoon, and I can't remember the name. Because I remember seeing the movie poster at the video store, and that's it. I just remember it was a dragon. See, Dragonlance. They were books, right? Movie poster. Let's see. Dragonlance movie poster. That was cartoony. When did this come out? It's a cool looking movie poster, but it looks very modern. Let's see. It says this. It says Dragonlance Dragons. I don't know if this came out in 2008, so I don't know if it's the same thing you're talking about. It's a more modern poster, and it there was that. So I don't know if it's the same thing you're talking about. Let's see. Chris Fix says, "Oh, I'm just saying hi." Yeah, no, awesome. Let's see. Dragon Slayer is more like Lady Hawk with less awful soundtrack. But I love Lady Hawk. It's one of my favorites. All right, I'll definitely have to check it out then because I'm into movies like that. I mean, the poster is cool as hell. Let's see. Dragon Pisces, Dragon, Dr. Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, all the dragons. All the dragons. Let's see. The cartoon Dragon Slayer. Okay, maybe then that was what I was thinking of. I thought it was. Let's see. Dragons. So maybe that's what maybe I was thinking Dragon's Lair and not Dragon's Lair. Yes, this is exactly what I was thinking of. No, it wasn't. This one came out in 22. But no, it's something they're making another one. It looks like because it says original title is to 2022, but Dragon's Lair is what I'm thinking of. Dragons, so Dragon Slayer, Dragon's Lair, Dragon's Lair. It came out. Yeah, this stuff. So Hanna-Barbera did a cartoon, and then there was like a game. And that's what I was thinking of. Let's see. Dragon's Lair movie poster. I don't remember, like, I would have remembered if it was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. But yeah, this is what I remember. And this says 1983. So, but when I looked it up on IMDb, it's not coming up. It's only coming up with something for 2022. But this is exactly what I was thinking of when he said Dragon Slayer. And let's see. So this is what I was thinking of, and I remembered it being a cartoon. I've never seen it. I downloaded it a while back when I was in the Navy, and I used to download a bunch of movies and put them on a hard drive and then take them to the ship, just to because there's no way I could have all my movies. And I used to do that, and I downloaded it, and I never got around to watching it, and I've never come across it physical media. So it's something I've been aware of. I remember seeing that poster as a kid, but it's one of the ones that has just slipped through my fingers like every time. Like it's something I've wanted to watch, but definitely I like the poster too. The poster's great. Let's see. Yeah, Dragon's Lair. Yeah. No, that's the one I was thinking of. But Tarks9, check the ratings for Dragon Slayer. What I remember, dude fighting a dragon, a hot chick. Lol, need to rewatch. Yeah, so Dragon Slayer, real quick. Dragon Slayer. Crap, what was that? This one? Was this it? 1984? No, it's a video game. Let's see. Nope. Why is it not there anymore? That's stupid. Let's see. So if I Google it, it takes me to what I want, and then it takes me to the IMDb page. Now it's not. Or is it? Am I adding the S? Is that the issue? Now I'm not coming up with it at all. Oh, there it is. Let's see. So this was, because I did 2 words. Haha, it was 1 word. IMDb. That's why I can't find it. Dragon Slayer. Let's try this again. Dragon Slayer. And then, so 1981. It says it's PG. And then it's got a 6.6 out of 10. Let's see. The average rating being a 7. Only a couple people gave it 1s and 2s and 3s, but the biggest rating is 7, and a lot of people give it a 10. There's not too many movies I give a 10, but 7 probably sounds about right. And then are there any actual reviews? And looks like it's more men have seen it than women, obviously. Let's see if there's any actual reviews down here. Oh, there's one. Crawl good one. Beastmaster, that's a good one. I just picked that up on Vinegar Syndrome, and it's another one I remember watching on TV as a kid, and I haven't seen it since. And I picked it up on Vinegar Syndrome, and it's one of the ones I have to get through. And what the hell? Speaking of Lady Hawk, I've never seen this movie poster. That is a movie poster I have to get now. That is cool because that's not what the cover was. The cover was boring and brown and bland, and it had the hawk flying, and I think it had Matthew Broderick on the cover, and that's pretty much about it as what I remembered of it. That's a cool movie poster. Let's see. And that sword was ridiculous. And that scene when he throws that sword into the tree and it's like wobbling, that sword was humongous. It was absolutely ridiculous. That's a good film. And I enjoyed that one a lot. But yeah, no, so I'm not seeing anybody say, did you know there's trivia? All right, here we go. User reviews says, well, this one gives it a 10 out of 10. Let's see. Top review. Let's see. Here we go. 7 out of 10 says the best dragon flick yet. So, yeah, I'll definitely check it out. The best dragon movie ever. Excellent. Best cinematic dragon ever. Great dragon movie. Almost forgotten classic fantasy tale. All right, I'm into it. I'm definitely into it. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be on my. I'm probably gonna buy it tonight. That's probably what's gonna happen. Let's see. We got Jeremy Burt's Struzen did the Lady Hawk poster. Really? Yeah, he did a lot of movie posters back then. I did a video on movie posters, and he's one of the guys I was talking about. He did some like crazy number, like over 150 movie posters in his lifetime. And I know, when they stopped making movie posters, he was doing comic books, and he made like pretty much the majority of the movie posters of our childhood, like the things that we love watching. Like he's done most of them, and yeah, so to hear that, I'm like glad he did it, but not surprised. Let's see. Brian Suddenly Old says it was also a coin-op video game. Yeah, I did keep coming up with a video game option on there, and I wasn't sure if it was the same thing. Chris Fisk says Dragon's Lair is a creation from Don Bluth, and yeah, that looks like that. It was a Laserdisc series of games back in the early 80s starring Dirk Daring. Yeah, okay. I know they tried a lot of that stuff. They tried a lot of the Laserdisc games. And was it for actual Laserdisc, or was it for one of those systems? Because there was like a higher end system that did stuff like that, I thought, where it actually took like full on big Laserdiscs, but it was like to really play games or hook up to the computer or hook up to the TV as like a computer and not really play movies. And then there was also, like back then, they did weird VHS games where you would I know there's one that you had a gun and you should shoot the screen, but it was a videotape you'd put in and it would play that way. So I don't really know how it really worked as to keeping track of stuff, but there was a video game on VHS before. Let's see. Dragon Pisces, right now planning on playing with some toys while watching you. Okay, cool, man. What toys are you getting into? Let's see. Chris Fisk says grab. So I don't know where you said something else, but we'll figure it out. And then Chris Fisk says Dragon's Lair had great special effects for a dragon, especially for an early 80s film. Well, that's what a lot of those reviews said. It was the best dragon film ever, best looking dragon. So I'm going to be getting that one. I'll watch the trailer tonight, and then I'll probably order it tonight or just throw it in my Amazon cart because it's one I've never seen it. And so I don't think I'm going to accidentally find it at the thrift store anytime soon. See, Tarks9 says, remember playing Dragon's Lair in arcades, died so much. See, I don't remember that one in arcades. So, and this one came out in the early 80s. I mean, I wasn't really hitting the arcades till the 90s. So, like, I was just getting all the, Ninja Turtle games, the Terminator game. anything like that. All the beat 'em ups, that's what I was into. So that would have been cool. I would have loved it. And then there was a year that we lived across the street from a Pizza Hut. So I was able to run across the street and dump my quarters because they used to have the arcades in there. And then they had a shooting game, and then they had some boring thing. I didn't like it at all, but I remember I used to go there and want to play the shooting game all the time because they had you remember it was like the fake Uzis, and they had like two of them, and they were like mounted, like dangling down, and you just sit there and you just shoot. And I don't know if it was like a Rambo game or something, but I used to remember if I had a quarter or a couple quarters, I would be like, oh, can I run across the street and go to Pizza Hut? And then they used to get mad because we were just there to play the games. We never got pizza. We lived across the street. So yeah, that was something. Yeah. I would have definitely loved to play a game like that. Chris Fisk says, I'm almost tempted to rescore Lady Hawk with less disco funk's rock soundtrack. I need to snag separated audio layers. I'm sure you can do that now. So easy. Like, I'm sure you can just download or screen capture the entire movie and then separate the audio. I mean, just on YouTube, if you can catch it on YouTube somehow. I know for anything I make for my videos, if I steal it from YouTube, I screen capture it, and then I have to switch my audio settings, so I'm copying the internal audio and not the external. And it's very easy. And then once I just put it in iMovie, just on my Mac, I don't have anything special. Just I have iMovie, and I can from there separate the audio track, and I could take it away, and I could speed it up, or I can change the volume, and that's really simple. And I don't care about computers, and I don't mess with this stuff. So to me, if I could do it, then I'm sure you could do it pretty easily. Let's see. Tarx9 says Frank Frazetta Fire and Ice on YouTube too. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, no, I got Frank Frazetta posters. I got the Mothman and the Vampirella. I got those ones. I got them framed. They're not posters, they're little things, but they're framed. I love Frank Frazetta. And there's an art book that I've been wanting to get. It's real thick, real hard cover. It's a thick hardcover book, and I've seen it. It was like, it's expensive for a book. It's like $57, $60, and then I didn't pick it up, and then now it's like $75. So like it's just going up in price, and I'm just like, oh man. But yeah, Frazetta stuff is awesome. So let's see if I can do that. Frazetta. So it's on YouTube. And then what was it? I always call it the monkey, but somebody's telling, I think Shant was telling me it's called Kong, but there's the Frank Frazetta painting where it's gorilla, Kong, and the big giant snake, or the anaconda or whatever it is. I always wanted that one because I love gorillas, but yeah, Frank Frazetta is wicked. Let's see, Frank Frazetta. And it's in English. Let's see, which is always a plus for me. Let's see. Turn this down. I don't know what's in there. Okay. I'll check that out. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, you can watch that on YouTube. It's got almost 2.5 million views, and it was put up in 2014. So yeah, I'll check that out later. Yeah. Let's see. Chris Fisk says, Fire and Ice was amazing. I remember when Blizzard ripped off the film's hero design for an orc hero. Oh yeah, no, I'm not surprised. I mean, just look at all this stuff. Like, you can look at his work, and you can see other people either, maybe saying they're paying an homage, or it looks like a blatant ripoff. And then you obviously know that the Conan poster from the Schwarzenegger movie wasn't a ripoff. He actually gave them permission. He didn't want to paint it though, but he gave them permission to use that image. But then all of the versions of that have been used in other movie posters and other things since then, and without giving any credit to Frazetta at all, but loosely maybe saying that it was a paying tribute to that Schwarzenegger movie poster, and you're like, but that's not where it really comes from. So yeah, no, I'm not surprised they ripped it off. Let's see. Tarks 9 need a steelbook Blu-ray Fire and Ice. Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing. I was going to do a video on my steelbooks because it was you, wasn't it, Tarks 9? You're the steelbook guy. So I had it got me thinking. So I was going to do a video, and I was going to probably do a short one. But I have this whole box up here now. As I went through, and I have a whole box sitting here, and these were the ones that I thought were the better images, the better steelbooks that I had for my collection. Some of them I bought purposely because it was the better art. A lot of them, I own them ironically because it was the cheapest one. It was the only one available. But then I have a bunch downstairs still, but I don't really care for that art. But yeah, I've not been a steelbook guy, but these ones I have in this box I want to do. The art is just, I think it's just the next level, just the better version, the better way to have it. Yeah. So yeah, if you're the steelbook guy, yeah, that's something I'm sure there's somebody that makes stuff like that too. Like a lot of people are getting into like doing their own or just being creative. I bet you there's somebody that does that because not everything is put out on steelbook. So I bet you there's somebody out there that does something like that. Because what was it? I had a guy make me here. I'll go get it. I'll show you real quick. He made me this case because I didn't have a case for it. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so Tilt. It's an old movie with Brooke Shields. But this, he made it. I didn't have so I got this. That's all I had. And he went through and he took the old movie posters and images from like what he could find because this is a rare movie. It's hard to find. Not many people have seen it, let alone remember it. And then I've never seen it on any other format. I knew it existed, and when people do sell these on eBay, they go for a pretty penny. But he ended up making this whole thing for me, and he even put like a plastic coating on the outside of it. And it cost me, I think might have been like $15 or something. And he made it and sent it to me, and he did a really good job, just off what he could find on the internet. And then this was just a scan of the movie poster. So like you can't see it on there, but right here, there's a crease that goes along the middle because the movie poster, whoever had put that picture on the internet, it was a folded movie poster. So that was just really cool that he did that. So I'm sure, somebody's out there is probably making some cool stuff like that. Let's see. Chris Fisk says, Dragon's Lair arcade cabinet actually housed a Laserdisc player. It was so expensive and clunky that the game costs then unheard of $1 a game. Wow. Yeah, because I remember in the 90s, games were like 50 cents. And I remember some older ones where I remember, going and spending 25 cents. But I remember when I was really going in the 90s, they were about 50 cents. So, yeah, that's something. $1 a game. I don't think I ever spent $1 a game at the arcade. Maybe one of the beat 'em ups or something like later on, but one of those games that gave you a little bit longer play to begin with. But yeah, $1 a game, that's expensive. And I didn't know about that either. Wow. Let's see. Roger Ryder, I called the tow for $150, but the state showed up for free, running good. Oh, cool, man. Hey, well, that worked out. You didn't have to pay for it. Free is cool. Free is definitely cool. Good luck, man. Yeah. Let's see. Dragon Pisces action figures from Marvel and DC to Dragon Ball Z. Cool. Yeah, no, Marvel to DC. So you have Wolverine in there. Wolverine's one of my favorites. And Punisher. I like Punisher. Big Punisher guy. Let's see. Chris Fisk. I believe the shooter game you're describing was Operation Wolf. They had the it was like I remember it was like it had like poles that came down, and then they were like these black Uzis. They look like Uzis, and there was two of them, and they were just kind of dangling, and you could turn it a little bit, but not much. And I just remember playing that, and it was at the pizzeria. It was at the Pizza Hut, so like whatever was there already was probably old. Like I don't remember what it was called. I just remember dumping my quarters in and being just a little kid and just thinking it was the coolest thing ever because I got to pull a trigger on a gun. Yeah, I have to check it out. Maybe it was. Hey, maybe I'll look it up. Let's see. What was it called? Operation Wolf. Let's see if they have that. Let's see. Operation Wolf Arcade Cabinet. No, the one I was talking about is hanging down, but you know what? I think I've seen this. I don't know if I've actually played it, but this looks familiar too. Okay, there's this thing here. I want to play somebody else's video. Well, let's skip this. Oh, it's all these dang commercials. Let's just see. Operation Wolf Arcade Cabinet. Yeah, I've definitely seen this. I don't think I've played this. I mean, but if it had a gun attached and I had some quarters, I might have. But yeah, no, the one I remember playing there had two guns and they dangled, or maybe it was one gun, but I just remember it dangled. This one sits down low and like sits in there. Here, I'll show you. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so this is Operation Wolf. That looks cool. I just don't think that's the one I play. I mean, I'm pretty sure this was because I remember like when I used to go to the arcade in the mall, and then I would always play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade, that beat 'em up, and I loved that game. And then the games like this, the older boys were always playing, and they were always hogging it. So I think I remember seeing it. I just don't think I ever played it. Let's see. Let's see. Tarx9 says, yeah, good thing for Mario Bros. Arcade game. Didn't die so much. Putting your quarter up on the top, waiting for your turn was cool. Grocery shopping with family. I played the games. They're asteroids. Yeah, I forgot about that. Like, because very briefly, the grocery store we had, I think I remember like seeing an arcade over in the corner, and then they took out the arcade, but then they put in like they expanded the customer service counter, and then they started renting movies out of the grocery store. I remember they did that, and every grocery store I went to, because we had a bunch in the area, like everyone we would go to would have like their own version of like a video rental, and some had different case covers. So like I know the one store, what was it? It was Shop and Save. Shop and Save had brown brown clamshells to take home, and then other people had clear ones. But we very rarely rented one from the grocery store. I don't know why. I don't know if they were more expensive or not, but I just remember we spent a lot of our time going to Video to Roll, which I ended up working at that one when I was in high school. But then we would only go to Blockbuster if my parents could get coupons. So if there was like some kind of like buy one get one free thing, or there was like some kind of special they were running, it's the only time we go to Blockbuster. But we almost always went to Family Video, and then when I was like Video to Roll, and when I was like really young, we would go to this mom and pop one called Last Unicorn, and that was just cool because they had a lot of everything. Like they had CDs, and they had vinyl records, and they had vinyl albums, and they had T-shirts, and it was more like an FYE, but it was like a mom and pop place. And then the whole beginning half of it was just movies to rent, and I just thought that was the coolest store to go to. Yeah, but yeah, and Asteroids. Asteroids was one of my favorites, but I used to go and play in that Donkey Kong arcade, and Asteroids was the coolest games ever. Asteroids and Space Invaders. So those three games. So there was this skating rink, like it was called Skaterama. It was in Utica, where I grew up in upstate New York, and it was a skating rink, and I think it's still there. But when I was a kid, anybody that had a birthday, would go there. So everyone went there all the time, and you could roller skate. And then they had all these arcade games. They had pool tables. They had air hockey. They had all this like fun stuff for kids. And if I had quarters, man, I didn't want to go skating. I just wanted to sit there and play the arcade. So Space Invaders, Asteroids, and Donkey Kong, those were my favorite games ever. And yeah, those I remember, I think those cost a quarter. Those were fun. Let's see. Charks 9 says, yeah, I want the Spawn animated steelbook, maybe 2. Yeah, no, man, that's a thing too. Like when you're collecting stuff, like when you're sometimes you get a bug and it just doesn't matter. You just want it. Like I get that all the time. And the maybe 2 attitude, man, I get that one all the time too. Like when I got these, I got the turtles, the turtle van, and the turtles. I ended up getting extra turtles just to put on the wall. They're the same ones that I got on the shelf, and I'm never gonna play with those. But I was like, I wanted those when I was a kid. I wanted more. I didn't have enough, so I'm just gonna get them now. So yeah, the maybe 2 is always a fun thing for me. And like there's a couple movies I own where I own 2 copies or 3 copies, and some of it's because I have like VHS, then I have it on DVD, but then I have it on Blu-ray. So depending on where I'm going to end up watching it, I have the best format for that. But then down in my movie closet, there's a couple movies I have where I have like 2 or 3 copies of the exact same movie because I love it that much. And then there was a better version of the cover that came out, and I just had to get it. And yeah, and so a couple of those steel books I have is because I thought it was the best looking cover, so I waited for that. But yeah, to try to explain the maybe 2 attitude to somebody who doesn't collect anything, you're just like, why are you going to spend extra money to have 2? I don't know. I get it. Let's see. Chris Fisk, nice. I'm a big fan of package design. Yeah, no, package design is a huge thing, and that's it's like you missed earlier. I was talking about physical media and the package design and all that stuff, and like that stuff's very very important to me. And so and I mentioned in your book and how for me you did an amazing job. And so even though I loved your book already, I love the story, I love the book, I think it's awesome. I don't have really any negatives to say about it except for where's the second book? And I know it's probably coming, but and just because the extra steps you did and the little note that you put in there, and you hand signed it, that type of stuff is just great. And so yeah, package design, better products, like that type of stuff is always going to get me. And it's going to change me from a casual customer to a customer for life. And that's the thing, like the better packaging is awesome. And so yeah, I just love how things are done. Let's see, Tarks 9, so many steelbooks buy from gaming, waiting for notifications from limited run games on Crisis Deluxe Edition and Star Wars Knights of the Republic Master Edition. Okay, yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, you were into games and movies and a lot of games. So with that, do a lot, because I remember when I was younger, and I was like when let's see, it was before GameStop was real big everywhere. I mean, like GameStop's everywhere now, but when I was a kid, I think we had KB Toys, they sold games. Toys R Us obviously sold games, and then there was EB Games, I think, when I was a kid. I remember going there, and they had all the games. And it was the first time I'd ever seen a steelbook anything, because it was before DVDs. and and that. So we still had VHS. So to have a steelbook VHS was, you wouldn't even think about that. So the first time I ever saw a steelbook was for a game at the EB store, and I didn't understand, like, why would you pay extra money for the game? Because to me, you bought games, and then once you were done playing with them, you traded them in for new games. And now being older and collecting it, I really, really get it now. But yeah, it was the first time I ever saw a steelbook was in a game. So when you're collecting these, like, do now, because it's a collector thing, and now because it's very popular, is more coming out, or is it still like it was, where it's just like a weird rare collector editions coming out, or are you finding that it's easier to collect because they're putting more stuff out that way? Tarx 9 says, wow, that's awesome. I'm not sure what you're talking about, what's awesome, but whatever it is, it probably is. Roger Ryder, the TMNT arcade was on SNES, but not as good. Yeah, I have the NES Turtles arcade game, and it's not as good as what I remembered playing in the arcade. And playing it on the NES, like, you get the and I've cleaned it a couple times, and I think there's something maybe wrong with it, because, like, no matter how many times I clean it, and all my other games, they work perfectly fine. And then the pin connector inside the NES is fairly new. It was replaced when I got it, and we've only had it for a couple of years, so it's a fairly new pin replacement. And so all the other games work fine, but Turtles Arcade doesn't work properly. I put it in, we could play it kind of, but then, like, it takes forever to get it to work. And then when it does work, part of the screen is all digity and messed up, and it's not as fun. So I was looking at trying to get the they're doing the Cowabunga edition of the Turtles games, and they're putting the 13 Turtles games on there. So it's got all the Game Boy ones, the Sega ones, the NES ones. It's got, like, pretty much all those Turtle games. There's 13 of them, and it's going to have arcade. So I'm looking forward to getting that, and it'll be probably on PS5, because I think they're doing it on all the systems. But I think it's a game I put on the PS5. And somebody was saying that they altered it a little bit, so I don't know what they edited or what they changed, but I would prefer to get it to play it. And I don't remember playing this now, from what I've been able to play. I don't remember how much different or how much better it was playing in the arcade. I know playing in the arcade felt smoother. Any of the times, even when I played it as a kid and on the Nintendo, and I could get my hands on it, I remember the same kind of problems. Like, it was kind of clunky, it kind of jittery. Like, obviously the Nintendo console wasn't as powerful as the arcade console, so I do remember that. But yeah, I don't remember if it was changed, or, like, there's a reason it wasn't good, other than the fact that the system isn't as powerful as an arcade cabinet. Let's see. Chris Fisk says, got to go to bed now. It's 2:30 a.m. here. Have a good one, everyone. Yeah, thanks for stopping in, man. No, appreciate it. Let's see. Saying goodnight. And then Tarx 9, I think the first movie steelbook was Iron Man or Transformers. Final Fantasy 12 was the first game steelbook. Okay. Yeah, I've got some of the Transformers ones here. Give me a second. I'll show you the ones I pulled out, because, like, these ones I think are really cool. And the reason I have them, some of them are because they were the only version available or the cheaper one, but some of them I know I bought specifically for the art. But out of my whole steelbook collection, I think these are the best looking ones. Hold on. Let's see. All right, so we get you there. Let's see. So I have, okay, this one is one I actually purposely went to go look for. I heard it was coming out. I saw the cover. It's a movie I loved as a kid, and it's very popular now. But again, I think it's that bandwagon fake, because at the time the movie flopped. Nobody cared about it. I saw it as a kid, and it's right up my alley. Fantasy, witches, like all that stuff. And so this was great. And so I went to look for this, and it was so hard to find, because everyone's like, oh, I love Hocus Pocus. So I got the Hocus Pocus one because I love this cover. And then it fell behind my shelf, and because I used to have it sitting up like to display it because I thought it was really cool instead of having it in the shelf. And then it fell behind the shelf, and the only way to get it out, to get the shelf out, was to damage it. So it did crunch it, so it kind of sucks. And then to replace this, it sucks. But I love that cover. That right there to me is one of the coolest steel books that I have, and that was just because of the cover. I love that one. And then Scream, huge fan of Scream. I did not really like the movie cover when they put this out on 4K, but the steel book I thought was really awesome, so I bought this one on purpose. So Scream steel book, and then the back says, "Do you like scary movies?" So absolutely love this steel book. And then the nice thing about the steel books I love too is the extra artwork on the inside, like just going the extra mile. Like that I do like, but sometimes the steel books are a lot more expensive. So to try to get them day one, like this was inside of the Hocus Pocus one. And then huge fan of Howard the Duck. I love Howard the Duck. It's one of my favorite movies. I don't have it on VHS, and I don't own a Laserdisc player. I would if I could track one down, but I'm not going to spend crazy eBay prices. But if I ever track one down, I would love to have, and I probably will just get the Howard the Duck Laserdisc just to put it on the wall. I love those big, they're the size of vinyl records. It was huge art. But Howard the Duck, I love this steelbook. I think it's great. Way better than the original movie poster. Then this one, the Equalizer, this was cheap. It was like the cheapest thing. Like the regular movie might have been like $14-15, but this was like 10 on steelbook. And it's just a really cool looking steelbook. I like this one a lot. So that's it. But it was the only reason I own them is because I think the art is better, and not because I'm a steelbook guy, because they do get damaged very easily. And I do have a 5-year-old who doesn't care about anything. Is very rough. And here's one. This is one of my favorite movies. I love this movie. When they put it out on 4K, and this is one I've owned several copies, and I just recently sold my Blu-rays because I upgraded to this. That pretty much every time this has come out on a new format, I've purchased it, which is Rear Window. And I love that movie poster, or that cover art. That cover art is awesome. And then here's the back side of it. So to me, huge fan, love this movie, but the art was just so much better than the original with the regular standard version. And then that's the interior. So big fan there. And then another one. This is one of my favorite movies. Absolutely love it. And I've had, again, I do have it on VHS, but I don't have the best cover. I have the traditional very first cover that came out, nothing special, but I have it on DVD. I have it on Blu-ray, and I have it on 4K. And this movie here, Fifth Element, but that cover is awesome. I love this one. And again, it's steelbook, so it can get scratched up, it can get dinged, and that I'm not a fan of. But because this is so cool, I really would like to mount it on the wall or set it up, get like something to hold it so I can put it on the shelf and just look at it. But I love this one. And then the interior, this one didn't do anything special on the interior, which was a little disappointing, but the outside was so good I didn't care. I love this movie. Then I had The Game. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but this is one of my favorites. Michael Douglas, Sean Penn, they're rich kids, and they play this game, and they spend all this money to play this game, and it's crazy. It changes their entire life. It puts them on this roller coaster, like they think they're getting shot at. They think they're going to die. Like it's this crazy thing, and it takes like a really uptight rich person and just really screws with his entire life. And it's just, when I first saw this movie when it came out, I thought it was awesome. I still love it. And the steelbook, I just think is just great. So that's a fun one. I love that movie. Serenity. Not a huge fan of the movie. Like it's a fine movie. It's okay, but this is another one. The steelbook was cheaper than the original version. It was like $10 on Best Buy, and it looks like a comic book cover. So I thought it was pretty good. And as far as the art goes, I think it's one of the better ones. Let's see. We have Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty. I like that better than the art because, and I brought out the regular one to show you. So getting into the Disney collection and the Disney movies, I hate this. This is my biggest pet peeve when collecting movies. I hate it. I like the art. I want the art to take up the entire image, the entire whatever is available. But then all these discs, they say Blu-ray, DVD, HD digital, and that's in there. And I just hate that dumb banner. So to have this movie, and you know, when the Disney ones come out, they're expensive, you know, and they don't really go on sale all that often. So this comes out, and they got that stupid dumb banner. This was a much better cover. So I purposely bought this one. And when this came out, I don't think there was a steel book. If there was, I never got it. But this, I chose this because it was much better. Then The Sting, another movie I love. And out of the two options, I thought this was the better cover. And again, artwork on the back, really great. Nice interior. Let's see. Actually, I don't even know what's on the other side of the other one. Oh yeah, so this is just a great, and just the packaging, everything about it is better. So you got Paul Newman there. Yeah, and then is there anything on the side of this? Oh yeah, and then Sleep Beauty had a nice interior too. So yeah, there's something about it. Like I definitely see the appeal behind it, but most of these I own ironically. But this one, another one I bought on purpose. I like the cover so much better. Psycho, another one of my favorites. Absolutely love this film. And the first time I saw it, my dad showed it to me when I was a kid, and man, it was just because he had this weird bathrobe that was very similar to Norman's bathrobe. It's just like, oh man, we watched it. It's just like, oh, you got that creepy bathrobe. So yeah, but this was a good one. I love this one, and the steelbook is great. You got the art on the other side, and then again, you know, really good. And we got Jumanji, again, way better than the original cover for the regular standard edition. So Jumanji is great. I love this cover. It looks like the game. The back looks like wood grain. And then the interior is designed like the game. So to me, it's really good. And then this one, I had this on Steelbook. It was like, there was like cheap $10 Best Buy job. And then there's this bookstore online. It's called, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's Hamilton Books or Hamilton Book or something. It's along those lines. It's a bookstore, and it's Hamilton Book in some kind of fashion. And they sell all these books, but they sell movies and Blu-rays and DVDs, and very cheap. And no matter how many you order, the shipping is always $4 or something. It's really cheap for shipping. So if you order one, it's $4, but if you order 500, it's still $4. And so I get a lot of movies there sometimes, and I get them pretty cheap. And so this was a deal. I had never seen this cover. I loved it. And it was a steelbook. It was a Mondo edition. And I hate slip covers. I hate this, but very rarely do I keep slip covers. So this one I did, and I kept them on my Universal Monsters ones because I don't want those to get damaged at all. But then this was the cover, and I just thought it was way better than the one we got, because the original one we got was it was like orange, and it had the broken record on it, and it was, it said Shaun of the Dead, but I just thought this was so much cooler. So I picked it up, and I think this was like $10 on that website. So yeah, if you're not familiar with them, if you want to get some great deals, you can find all kinds of things. I think they get movies that are like from retail stores that they're not maybe not going out of business, but like they're trying to get rid of their back stock and stuff, so they dump them cheap. So this place buys them cheap, and then they turn around and sell them cheap. Because I bought from them brand new in the package, like never opened, and it has a Best Buy sticker on it. That's how I figured out that it's probably. And then there was something else I bought that had a Walmart sticker on it, and it comes from them. And I figured it was because they're probably getting like leftover back stock that they just buy cheap, and like they buy it by the pallet full. And it was this Spider-Man. I got it downstairs. It's in a box. It's like this big, and it's Spider-Man DVD. So I think it's the very first Spider-Man, and it was a collector's box set. So there's stuff inside. I've never opened it. It's got like cards from the movies, and it's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. So 1, it's DVD, 2, it's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. So this thing is really, really old, and I picked it up last year, brand new from this bookstore. So, and that's where the Mondo came from. So that was that. So yeah, that was the one I have, and I was planning on doing a video on like how I think the art is better and why I got those. And yeah, so that was that. That was my collection. But I mean, I've got more downstairs, but I don't think they're as nice. I just have them because they were the cheapest version to have them. Yeah, I think these were the better ones. Let's see. Let's put that down. All right, and then yeah, so I know I have the Transformers ones. I have 2 or 3 Transformers. I have all the Transformer movies, but in Steelbooks, I only have like 2 or 3 of them. See, Charles9 says that I bought what I said above. What? I think the first movie Steelbook was Iron Man. Okay. All right, Charles9 says my favorite Steelbook, but I think it's a 10, is the Star Wars original movies with the original theater release. On DVD, I would definitely have to check that out because I know they did a lot of tins, and I've got some movies that came in tin, but most of them don't sit on the shelf right. And so I'm not a big fan. Like I know I got my kid this she was really into Jurassic Park at the time. So it was Jurassic World, and it has the dinosaurs, and it's like these figurines, and they're fighting, and they're almost look like bookends. Like there's two little figurines, and it came with all the movies. Well, it's in a round tin. The whole tin is round, and it has this little cardboard thing that was sitting in the package. So that the round tin sits in the cardboard. So then you could actually put that on your shelf, but then it's cardboard, so it could very easily get damaged. Then you just have this round tin that doesn't really fit on a shelf. So the way that was done, it looks cool, but like, how are you going to do that? You got to find a way to display it or put it, maybe mount it to the wall. It might be cool, but practicality is just kind of weird. So some of those collector tins, unless you have like an actual cool setup where you could like put stuff out and display stuff, some of them collector tins I haven't been a fan of, but I would be interested in getting a Star Wars one. Big fan of Star Wars. So let's see if we can find that. Let's see. Star Wars movie collector 10. So was it the original Star Wars, or was it like one of the newer ones? Let's see. There's one here that looks pretty cool, but it looks like one of those old style lunch boxes, and it says it's got the original movies in it. So you said my favorite steelbook, but I think it was the Star Wars original movies with the original theater release. Yeah, there's a couple of them that are square that say original movies, and it's got the original poster art on it, and it's a square tin, but it looks more like one of them old style like metal lunch boxes. Then there is this other one that's perfectly square. And then I think that's about it. So I don't know. I don't know. It's coming up with a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff now, so maybe not. I'll have to check it out later. Tarx9 says, yeah, steelbook damage, easy. Got mine in comic bags. Yeah, no, I know. I've seen so many people like it was that oh, let me take a drink. Oh. So I've always been a movie collector and stuff, so pretty much my whole life really hardcore since I was in high school. I've been collecting the movies, and so when it started becoming popular to like just show your collection and show what you got on YouTube and talk about that type of stuff, and seeing all the people get into it, and then I didn't realize how crazy like some of these steelbook people are. where they like camp out to try to like get specific steelbook editions and stuff. And I was just like, wow, that's a little nuts. I mean, I love stuff and I love hunting and I've camped out for stuff before, but not like that. And actually, not even really a lot of stuff. I only camped out for the Nintendo Switch. It was the only thing I camped out for, and it's because I really wanted to play Zelda Breath of the Wild. So I waited an entire day. Like I walked in, the launch day, and I said, "Hey, do you have any?" They said, "We got 3 extras. If you're willing to wait here all day, we launch it at midnight. So if you're willing to wait here, you're the first one." And I said, "Hey, as long as I can go get my chair out of the car." And he said, "Yeah, no problem. I'll make sure you're number one." And as I was going out to the car, somebody was coming in, so that person was number 2, and I had like a folding like a camp chair, and I brought that and I sat there all day long, and I was just had my phone, and I didn't think to bring a drink or anything. And he said if you leave at any point, so I didn't go to the bathroom or eat or do anything all day. I waited there all midnight to get this. The only time I ever camped out for anything. But to camp out for a movie to get a steelbook, I don't know if I could do that. But then when I was looking at these, let's see. I was looking at these steelbooks. I don't know if you saw these last time, TRX9, but when I was looking for these and I was looking them up and I found out about them, then I was like, oh, I got to get these. And I was watching some steelbook people when they were showing off their collection of them. I thought my kid woke up. So when I was seeing their collection, I saw that a lot of them, they would have them on their shelf, and it looked like they were all wrapped in bags on the shelf. And I was like, well, I don't understand that because it doesn't look good. To me, it doesn't look appealing. And they're all in these bags, and then they would show it and they would take it out. And it's very similar to the comic bags. And they would stick down, and they would have to unpeel it to take it out. And I understand for the steelbook, but then there's people that do that same kind of bag collection for regular discs, like regular movies. And also when I have found hard to find ones on eBay, I've been sent them in that same kind of like plastic wrap. And I just, for a regular standard, I don't get it. But for one of these, I get it. As they're hard. And that was the thing, is I hate slipcovers. Like all my DVD, Blu-ray slipcovers, I throw them all away, or I take them off. And I do have a box somewhere with some of the better ones. And so if I ever sold it, if I put the slipcover on it, somebody will want it. But those slipcovers I kept because I don't want those to get damaged at all. I like those. Let's see. I like your Motu hoodie. Oh yeah, man. No, I got this awesome. I got another one too. I got one with a Battle Cat on it, but I got this awesome shirt, and I found I don't know if you ever shop at so T Public is a cool place, and they do t-shirts. Now the quality control isn't the greatest because I have got a shirt that the seam just was never sewed, and like there's like a spot that was like this big, so I just sewed it back up. It's not a big deal. But then this shirt specifically, I got it to fade out, but like down below when I got it brand new, like some of this orange, whatever they use for this orange dye, was like dripped onto it, and then they still sent it out that way, and it was just a pain in the butt. But yeah, so T Public though, their shirts are a little on the pricier side when you start getting a whole bunch. So if you try to get a bunch at a time, but multiple times a month they go on sale for like $10 a pop or something, or maybe $13 a pop, and so you can get a whole bunch of shirts for cheap. And but normally they're like $22 or something, and I don't remember how much this is brand new, but I got this was on sale. This was $35, but you can just, they got all this cool old 80s stuff. I got like shirts from Legend and all the movie shirts, and I got this. And then a lot of these are actual artists, like just regular artists that are doing their work, and they do a design and make the shirt. So I actually got a couple Sorceress ones and a couple She-Ra ones, and there's one She-Ra one I have is really cool. It's like she's laying down, but it looks like it's like she's like a tattoo, like she's like one of them like sexy girls from like a Sailor Jerry tattoo kinda, and that's really cool. And then she's like laying down, and then there's another one I got. It's another Sorceress, but like it's Sorceress, but it does not look like this Sorceress. Like she is she could go on a comic book cover, like in a today's comic. Like the picture is just really cool, and like the way she's spinning around, like you see the whole backside of her wings, and so she looks more like a bird than a person. And so that just it's a really cool shirt. But yeah, no, I got a whole bunch of them. Yeah, T Public is a cool place. They got like band shirts, and I just always type in 80s stuff, and I get a bunch of stuff that way, because then I know the 80s t-shirt website. They're like it's like 80stees.com or something. They're like $40 a t-shirt. So when you start getting a whole bunch, like that adds up fast. So I wait till these go on sale at T Public, and they're fine. And then you can switch out the colors too. Like there's one, I have this one that I wish I didn't switch out the color, because like when I get most of them, a lot of them come instantly in black. Like that's the best one that they have, is the black one. And then it was Vigo from Ghostbusters 2, the painting. So the painting Vigo, and then it was black, and I was like, well, I got a lot of black shirts. Let me just change it up. And so on the computer, I switched it and I got orange. And I was like, well, there's orange in the painting. It looked good on the computer, but in real life, I wish I had got the black one or a different color, because like it's just too orange now. So it's still a fine shirt, but yeah, no, I like this, and I wear it out, and like nobody, I think people just think I'm this goofball because I wear all these shirts like this, and nobody ever says anything. But like if I wear a more plain or like a more toned down one, they're like, oh, that's a really cool shirt. Like, what was I wearing? I have a VCR tape one where it says VHS, and it's got all these VCR tapes on it. Like when I wear that one, people are like, oh, nice shirt. But if I wear something like this, they're like, he's like a weirdo. So, or they don't know what it is. Yeah. Let's see. Tarks 9, nice Fifth Element Steelbook. Need to look for it. Yeah, that was one I had to look for. Because I love that movie so much, and I love that cover, and it was 4K, and I just had to have it. And I don't know if it's available anymore, or if it's available cheap. That's the thing. Because I got this one a couple years ago, I think now. Let's see. Sometimes though they do re-release them, because I always wanted the Jaws one when they put Jaws on 4K. I liked that steelbook, and I missed out on it, so I got the regular edition, and it came in a box. So it did come in a box, and it had like a book that was in the box. They had all the production stuff for the movie, but it was just a regular normal disc, and it was the normal case, and so I got that, and yeah, I would prefer the steelbook. But then the other day I saw that same steelbook, even though Best Buy was sold out, and I thought it was a Best Buy exclusive. It's at Target now. So, but I was like, I already have it, and I don't see double dipping on that one. But Fifth Element steelbook. Let's see. Yeah, it was down. I know I paid more than that, but it was down to $14, and it's not on Best Buy anymore. So that one might be, you have to track it down. Let's see. Sometimes you can find it expensive on Amazon. Let's see, Fifth Steel. Whoa, the UK version is sweet for the UK steelbook. Whoa, that's a sweet one. Let me pull this in. So that right there is a cool cover. That's a cool steelbook, but it's a UK. I mean, I would have no reason to have it, but if I could have that as a movie poster, I would. Let's see. Yeah, you're gonna have to hunt that one down and look for it. It shows up on Amazon, but then it's an audio CD. It's a picture of the steelbook, but it's the CD. It's not an actual thing. And everyone is saying sold out. So you might have to pay an arm and a leg for it on eBay. I haven't seen the game in a long time. Need to watch again. Yeah, the game was good, man, and I hadn't seen it either until I got the Steelbook, and I liked it just as much as I did when it was out. I think it came out in the 90s, like when and so I was definitely younger when I saw it, and I enjoyed it when I saw it then. One of my favorite movies, or if it didn't come out in the 90s, maybe it came out in the early 2000s, but I know I saw it when I was younger, and yeah, it's something I enjoyed. So either I was a teenager or I was in my early 20s when I saw it, but I liked it then, and I liked it again, and I hadn't seen it, so I had rented it from the video store, and I know I loved it, and but I hadn't seen it again since, and it's something that always stuck with me. It's like I talked about it, I definitely told other people about it, and yeah, just as enjoyable, even though I knew how it ended, because like a lot of those movies aren't rewatchable for me, and if it's not a rewatchable movie, I won't. And so, but that one is enjoyable, even though I know how it ends, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's a every year watch, but I probably saw it 20 years ago, and then I just watched it again last year and enjoyed it. And the Steelbook is great. Let's see. Tarks 9, Steelbook collecting is addiction. Yeah, it is. And well, that's the thing, is all of our stuff is an addiction. I'm now I'm getting the Master of the Universe toys, and I can't help myself. Like I just see it, and I'm like, I just picked up, like, I got the Castle Grayskull, and I got all the other toys the other day, and then after that we were just grocery shopping. I stopped over Walmart, and they had an Evil Lyn, and I was like, oh, I got to get that. And I had already gotten Evil Lyn for my daughter, so I was like, oh, that's for me, and I didn't need it. I didn't need it all, but it's definitely an addiction, and all this stuff is. I mean, I don't know if you saw when the day I did all my Indiana Jones tapes, because I had this horrible story. My mom broke my Indiana Jones tapes when I was a kid, and it was horrible. And it was like I was really upset by it when I was little, and so that stuck with me forever. And so I've always had Indiana Jones movies, as an adult. But when I started really collecting the VHS heavy, and I'd go to the thrift store all the time, I just would buy the VHS Indiana Jones tapes, and I have so many of them now, it's comical. And so I did a video where I was like, and here's another one, and here's another one. And at one point it's like, wow, this is boring. He's got all this, and then it just gets funny again because I have more, and I have so many Indiana Jones tapes, and that's an addiction. Like, I don't need them. I definitely don't need them. I wanted to have a couple extra in case the tapes wear out, but now I have so many, it's ridiculous. But yeah, no, it's definitely an addiction. And you know, anything I collect is and that, not that I bounce from thing to thing, but like, whether I'm doing Comicsgate comic books, or trying to get my Batman run together, or VHS tapes, movies, like, I'll go really hard, for like a while, and just be like, oh, I get movies, and I'll just switch over, and it definitely keeps it fresh. But yeah, really addicting. And then there is this, sometimes I have this like thing where not that I can't help myself, but I can't help myself. I'm like, I gotta have that. And and my wife's like, why'd you buy that? I'm like, well, I gotta have it. Let's see. Tarks 9, do you have the Motu collection set with the original series, Adventure series, and 2000 series, but comes in an amazing Castle Grayskull box with He-Man, sword, and booklet episode guide? Okay. No. I have the Motu Origins that I started collecting. I don't have anything from the original, none of that stuff. And then we have in the house, for as far as the movies or the cartoons go, we have the original 80s cartoon version. I don't have any of the newer stuff there. And then we did just get Castle Grayskull, and I opened it up. On a live stream. Oh, this rain course in the way. So I have, and it came with Sorceress. It came with a variant version of Sorceress from the Temple of Darkness. Let's see if I can do this without making a big mess. Let's see. So I just picked up this Castle Grayskull, and then I opened it on live stream, and I picked it up for my daughter and I to actually play with and stuff. And so she's been loving that. We've been playing with that regularly. And then yeah, I've got that, but all the stuff we have is really from the Origins line, and I don't have any of the stuff from when I was a kid. I don't have, so none of the original series, nothing from 2002. Yeah, the He-Man Sword and Booklet episode guide. Yeah, I don't have any of that. And as far as the cartoons, I just have what we had from the 80s, and we just picked up She-Ra too, and that. I would be interested in looking at it. I mean, depending. This stuff I just liked because my kid was into it. She was really into it, and then even though it's not, some of the figures are a little different, and they definitely added more joints, and I think it's definitely a more fun toy to play with than when we were kids. That's the only reason I got all these. So I like them because I'm able to collect toys that my kid is actually playing with and we can play together. And then it just reminds me of all the stuff that I had when I was a kid. So I have to check that out. Because yeah, I didn't know about the Castle Grayskull. The one I really wanted to get, but it's so expensive and really hard to find now. And the one I did find, it was like somebody was asking $2,000 for it, but it was Snake Mountain, and I think it was put out by Series 7, one of them other toy companies that put it out, or whatever that was. It was crazy expensive. It was like $2,000 on eBay, and I just said that's just crazy. I can't do that. See, Tarks9 says, yeah, I forgot I wanted to buy the Toby Spider-Man box set. Yeah, I have, I don't think I have the box set. I think I just have like the single DVDs, that I have the single Blu-rays, and then I do have this thing. I'm not going to go get it today. I might bring it up for another time on a live stream and show you guys, but it's because it's downstairs, but it's in this box. It almost looks like it's like a puzzle box. Like it's this box. It's thin, but it's a Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, and I'm pretty sure it's just the first movie, and like some pictures or card, like just some like little things to go along with it. And it was a collector's edition, but it's never been opened, and it was sold at Best Buy. And that's the Best Buy sticker on it. And yeah, it was just never open, and I'm pretty sure I got it pretty cheap, and they might even still have it at Hamilton Books. So that was just something I remembered. And so like, as far as the actual box sets, I'm pretty sure they did, it was either a 4K version or an actual Blu-ray box set not too long ago. And I thought about picking it up, and I was just like, nah, I don't need it. And I'm happy with the ones I got, but I love the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. To me, that is the best Spider-Man ever. And I liked the new movie, but I don't know if they're talking about maybe continuing it. And unless they actually do like an old man Spider-Man thing, because he is looking kind of old now, which is nothing wrong with that, but he, unless they actually do an old man Spider-Man kind of movie, whatever, I think that's the only way I would really enjoy it. But if they're just going to put him out there and try to just make him be Spider-Man like he was 20 years ago, I don't know if I would enjoy it that much, but I did enjoy No Way Home. Let's see. See the Hamilton book. Hamilton books. Yeah, so the place I'm talking about, it's actually called hamiltonbook.com. And let's see, Spider. Let's see. So this is the website, and they have all kinds of movies and stuff, and they're out of Spider-Man. But they have like all kinds of things, like Misery, stuff you've never heard of. They always have like those old skin flicks from the 70s. Like they have those. You can always get those on Blu-ray. I don't know who's making those and who's buying them, but they're always there. So they have all kinds of stuff. They got box sets like this Resident Evil box set. I'm sure it was expensive when it was where it was out, but you can get this for $12.95. So, and then shipping is always $4 no matter how much you buy. Look, Batman versus Superman, it's $4.95, and everything's brand new. So I love shopping here. Mad Max, and you can always find stuff that you don't have, or a lot of stuff's cheap enough you can just give it a try. So then, see if there's anything else. Look, I have the Gumby box set, the Gumby movie, and it's in this like collector box. It's $5. So not that I would get that one, but that's just the kind of cool stuff that they have. And anytime I go on this website, I find movies I don't have. Look, Hobbit 3D, it's $8. Those 3D Blu-rays, those are very expensive, but to get it for $8, why not? So yeah, that's the one thing. But they're out of that Spider-Man thing, so I'll bring it up on a live stream and show you someday. Let's see. Tarks9, I'll tag you on Twitter with some picture of the steelbooks. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you do that, and then instead of doing a live stream, I'll just show you the Spider-Man I got. Yeah. It's a cool box set. And I just bought it because I liked it. It was cool. It was a box set. And then I was thinking I was going to open it because it was pretty cheap for what I got it for. I was thinking about just opening and putting it on display, but I just never did. And it's just sitting in my closet with all my other like movie stuff because it's where I keep all my Blu-ray movies. And I got a lot of stuff down there. I've got like the DeLorean replica. I've got the first one and the third one, because the third DeLorean. First of all, Back to the Future is great, and I do have the steelbooks. So are they steelbooks? Anyway, I got the box set, the collector edition. I think they're steelbooks. But either way, I liked those because that version of the box set I got, yeah, they are steelbooks. They're when you lay them all out, they put the DeLorean on there. So I did get those ones, and I liked those ones. But yeah, so the DeLorean's awesome. That's such an iconic car, such a great car. So I have that first one, and then the second version, I was just like, whatever. But the third version, because like the one I got, I don't think you could tilt the wheels in like on the second version, and it would only be cool if you had like a stanchion to set it up on. So I think if the wheels do convert, it didn't have like a stand or something to make it awesome. So I didn't think I ever got it. But then because I think it was Diamond Select that put it out. But then the third one, because that was like out of all three of those, normally the first movie's great, and then the sequels, they're okay in their own right, but they don't get better. And for some reason, even as a kid, like that third movie was like my favorite. And so that version of the DeLorean, I have that in figure, and I have that down there too. And it's a cool figure because it's dirty. It's got all the dust from the driving in the desert, and then it's got the attachments and the vacuum tubes and all that stuff on the hood. It's just a cool figure to have. And the doors open up, and it does take batteries and lights up and does that whole spiel. Oh, that's a fun. I love them. I like talking about movies. I love movies. Let's see. Yes, the original Star Wars. Okay, yeah. So yeah, no, it's the one I saw two, and one was an actual. It looked about this size, in a steel book or a steel box or like metal box, but it looked like the aluminum lunch boxes, like those old ones. That's what it looked like, and it said it had the original Star Wars films in there. That one would be cool because the display is awesome. You could put it on the shelf and just make it look really cool, and just everything about it's Star Wars. So I would make room for it. That's how much I like Star Wars. But some of those ones, they don't fit on the shelf nicely, but that one definitely. Let's see. Big Ten. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's the one I saw. That's definitely the one I saw. Well, I think I'm gonna have to call it a night. It's like 3 a.m. here, and it was definitely fun. I enjoyed talking to you guys, and I'll catch you next time. I'm going to be doing a stream on Saturday, and I'll be doing comics, talk about comics all day. I'm going to talk about what I read, what I'm planning on reading, and I'm going to try to have a couple guys on who's drawing and same thing, what they're into for comics, and if they've gotten into back in any indie comics and that type of stuff. But no, it was fun having you guys on. I appreciate it. And I'm gonna do my closeout now. And if you haven't liked the stream already, definitely like it. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and please do me a favor and subscribe. But yeah, it was really fun, guys. Thank you. Let's see. End the stream.
Go now. Goodbye.
A murder mystery. Have you any idea who did it?
Look, Shakespeare's been dead hundreds of years.
Hundreds. This is a fine time to call us in on the case.
Say, but she couldn't have done it.
How do you know?
She can't be hundreds of years old.
Surprise for me?
Open it up and see.
All right. Dr. Slurp Saddle's famous tonic. Wait here. To be taken internally or externally for pain and neuritis, neuralgia, headache. If hit by a truck, call your physician. Alcoholic contact, 98%. Oh, Seymour, you'll never know what this is going to do for me. Oh, I can feel that surge of warm health going through me already.
Wait a minute. This is...
Who hired you?
Dreams are my speciality.